We are back once more with another episode of Survivors of Tarnstead. We're going to start in our usual manner of introduction. First up, we have Blackheart as,
Eric Marshk.
we have Kronos as,
Argelira.
we have Hepton as,
Telday.
we have Marcus as,
Corvus Adalas.
we have Semi as,
Gifton, Brockgren, Greysteel.
we have Spice as,
Has to be a PS Steel Shard.
and you have me, Yuli, as your friendly DM, who would like to give the recap.
I can.
Go for it.
Yay!
We started the session with Corvus and Echo. They were having a discussion about what the future may or may not hold in the coming times with the Dreamer waking up. But Corvus sort of made a decision that no matter what, he will do whatever he could to return, no matter what prospects may be out there in reality of things.
Oh, so he didn't just forget everything. I wasn't sure.
What?
What? Forgets things.
The party had also returned from their places with Mirus and the city of Cassiopeia collecting some wood. Echo was at the meeting place as well, and there was a discussion brought up about dancing in the Azoth. Gifton had brought back a natural amount of glitter, and Cassie returned with all her goods from the town. There was sort of a discussion to be had about what we all need to do for departing. Maybe we should contact Demon Steven and find out maybe about food or some other questions arose about that's a bit further on. Before the departure and before going through a final checklist, a question was brought up about if Cassiopeia should contact her mother to make sure everything's okay, for Michael not to worry, despite Michael being a demon and imprisoned in Orland's heaven. Cassiopeia decided she would stay behind and give a prayer to Orland to try to communicate with her mother. And the rest of the party retired back to the compound for different locations. Most of the people went to speak with Morgani and the Mental. And that's where the question arose about distances and speed and maybe talking with Demon Steven. But Morgani had also broached a privacy meeting with Gifton to talk about her children. And Gifton made it apparent that maybe we should include Telday and Carrick involved with it. Morgani had explained how she gave everything to her children. Not just they were born from stars, but they were the essence of them. But she also gave all her children bits of herself, her magic, her physicality, her ambitions, her secrets. One child in particular, though, never was sated. It always consumed. And that was Morgani's hardship in that she failed to give the child what it needed. And this was the nothing. She lamented that perhaps the nothing could not be saved, and that she renounced her decision or agreement that we would not harm her children, to give us every option available.
Only for that one, though. It was not
Only
a
for that one,
renouncement,
only
it
for
was
the
an
nothing.
exception.
Yeah. The nothing was the exception. RG had found Demon Steven drinking some alcohol in the smoke room and had asked him to return to Morgani and the Mental to explain some of the more familiar aspects of the shuttle. During this time, Cassiopeia had given her prayer out to Orlin, and Matinel, the cherub, showed up in a flurry of sparks and lightning. There was some confusion of what Cassiopeia wanted to do and Matinel's assessment of what she wanted to do, mainly that Matinel thought that Cassiopeia wanted to kill herself to go to Orlin's heaven. And that was quickly changed that no, we just want to go and talk.
What's up? I gotta correct it. Manatio.
Okay. Manatio.
Oh, I thought it was Matania.
Oh, was it Mataniel?
Mataniel. That's
Daniel.
Mataniel. Yeah. Telde
Yes,
was
Mataniel.
brought into the discussion and suggested that maybe we should get a water angel to help translate things for them. And one did show up. The one that showed up was a bit miffed that they weren't getting more entertainment from the conversation, but never gave who they were. Didn't give a name when they were asked. Always referred to them as myself. Also asked interesting questions about blades and the like. But themselves escorted Cassiopeia and Telde into the heaven of Orlan, which made a representation of a prison. After some discussions with the demon Michael, an agreement was reached where a jailbreak was happening, which was kind of not what was wanting to occur, but happened anyway. And then, as they were standing in Zaha and having a final farewell to Cassiopeia, themselves stated, "Not all of us have forgotten, and not all of us have forgiven." And left with a final phrase saying they need to abandon the situation. And then they fluttered off. There was a discussion, a talk with Demon Michael, and Demon Michael realizing that they were free and nothing was holding them back. So they decided that, okay, I'm just going to wander off. Cassiopeia and Telde did not think this was prudent and followed and contacted the rest of the party, which then cascaded to contacting Raziel and Hea, given a new demon is in Zaha. A confrontation ensued where Michael was trying to make the point that they were not going to do anything bad, that he just wanted to exist in freedom and did not want to go back to hell, did not want to go to a temple either. But as they were expressing this, they tried to make a great escape with a teleportation spell that Carrick had counterspelled. RG quickly sprung in. No. Then Corvus, myself, had banished them, and Corvus made sure that a decision is made of what to do with Michael, which was determined that they need to go to the Temple of Lost Causes. When the banishment...
The reason you banished her was because she tried to fucking book it.
Oh, yeah. The banishment ended prematurely, preventing her, or him, them, not to reside in hell for the rest of their days. And when that occurred, RG slapped them around a bit, tried to stun them, tried to make sure they couldn't leave, and Gifton flew over and eventually convinced Michael that you're going to the Temple of Lost Causes. At the Temple of Lost Causes, Michael was not keen on staying within the grounds and was burning up, and Gifton had escorted Michael
Ultimately,
to...
Gifton just said that they were going to get them out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Not to the temple specifically.
Yeah, I didn't say specifically that
Get them
they were.
out.
Yep.
Okay. And then that ended up at the temple.
Which is why she looked at me with anger, hate, and betrayal.
Right,
but, like,
okay.
At the same time, though, I'd been saying the whole time I was going to take
You
her
were
to
going
the
to the
temple.
temple. Yeah.
I was going to the temple. So I stuck with what I was saying, but that's not what she interpreted me as doing. Because I thought I was taking her someplace good. I didn't realize it would hurt her.
Yeah, and left Demon Michael in the underground lake underneath the mountain. And returned to the main party, letting everyone know the situation. And then we contacted Orland and alerted Orland of what the hell was going on. He had no idea or hadn't been told at the time. And the party soon realized that the angel, for different references of quotes and sayings, and a certain cherub, that the angel that had broke Michael out of Orland's heaven with Cassiopeia and Telday's help was indeed Abaddon. And that's kind of where my notes stopped. So,
and then I think we decided to go inside because James went, I'm gonna go do something that they needed to do. They were gonna go talk to Yamiel. And we were back at Faramir, and we were all gonna go back inside, which I think Echo was left behind when we left. So she's
I think
probably
we were
inside Faramir.
specifically heading to Velda
Mhm.
because we were supposed to meet
'Cause
Velda
we
within
think,
the
yeah,
hour.
we think it was the hour time frame, and yeah.
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 And also, the angel that we presume is Abaddon didn't bring up the blades till they brought up the blade, trying to get their blade to see that their name was, and then in exchange they said, well, let me see your sword, because Telday was like, show me your sword, and they were like,
oh,
show me your
Telday had
sword.
asked
Yes,
for the blade. And then
Telday,
started that.
just to clarify, they didn't start asking for swords right away.
Yeah.
Anyway. But
Okay.
yeah, it was really good.
Right, Corvus, go ahead and take yourself 2 heroic inspirations, as it was your birthday.
Yay!
I'm still a baby, unfortunately.
Let's make sure none of them play immediately.
Nope.
Okay.
None of them are play immediately.
You lucky son of a...
in,
I'm so happy for you.
in that case, yes, we pick up with you all making your way through the Fomorian complex, easily making your way down past a guard who tries to stop you briefly, but easily avoided.
Mhm.
You find yourselves back in the lab / hangar / just general disorganized research area.
A room.
Yeah.
The panic room.
Yes.
That's every room.
Disco?
What's that?
So it's a disco?
Yes, Panic in the Disco.
I heard
I don't know.
Echo.
Taco Bell.
As you come on in, Fauda is going to take note of your entry, and she's sort of quickly hurrying over, and she, marvelous, good. Okay, so, we want to get you all attuned to some of the systems, as we have some of the magic up and running now, and, we feel it is pertinent that maybe some of you take a couple of lessons from Mr. Keller. We don't want everything to fall on one person's ability to pilot.
Probably for the best.
I'm already versed in very important matters versus the wires. And also, if the number starts going up or down on the wall, either very fast in either direction, run.
Yes.
Ah,
Those
she's
are
got it.
bad.
Simplified measures, but not inaccurate. So, she's going to sort of...
No, we don't need anyone else to learn. She's got it. It's cool.
I've learned the important things that Stephen could tell me.
Right, we also have
I got
some
my wire cutters.
things
I'm
to
ready.
do. And she's motioning you all to follow her over to the shuttle. Which, looks bastardized. No longer like sleek and futuristic. The added arcane plating and so on top of it makes it look very crude indeed. But she leads you to the back entryway to go into the ship, and you see Stephen is sitting inside there, going over some system checks himself. He sort of swings around in the chair, like, right, okay. Who wants to? I'm not going to say learn to fly. I'm going to show you some really, really basic maneuvers and how to execute some pre-plotted courses, just in case.
What other
And
what all systems are needing to be learned here? Because there may be people who are more qualified for other systems.
What was it you said, Argy?
I said Archie puts up a hand.
Okay. He snaps his fingers at you to come and sit in the chair next to him before looking at Corvus and just going, okay, so there isn't a whole lot I can teach too many of you about a lot of things. I'm going to show you how to execute the transporter functions. I'm going to show you how to... You already know how to open and close the doors, right? Depressurize the airlock. Pressurize the airlock. We'll go over that. On top of that, if...
That's when the door went last time when we pushed that button and that button.
That's right. Correct.
Okay.
Well done. Beyond that, if the engine starts to fail or the computer systems start to fail, there isn't much I think that you delightfully civilized but somewhat primitive people can do about it. So I can't teach you that much in that short of time, and I'm not exactly an engineer myself.
If something were to malfunction, that maybe there's something that we can patch in regards to that. Saxon did teach me a few things with the tinkering tools. So
Do you want me to teach you the thousands of possibilities of malfunctions and how to cover them?
I don't think we have enough time for that.
No. And
Right.
frankly, I don't think I'd know most of them. So,
There's a hole. We'll just cover it up.
yes,
Well,
sealant
do
kits we
have
can
that
do.
sealing kit, yes.
If it's physical damage, a hull breach, you can definitely take care of that. But the computer systems, no. No, I don't think so. We'll go over at least the common engine issues that can arise. Maybe that's the best we can hope for. Right, okay. So, RG, I need someone else who wants to learn how to press buttons to make this box go.
Well,
Yeah,
Cass is
Garrett.
currently pressing a lot of buttons with wide load, so why not?
Oh, for a second there, I thought when you said currently, you meant literally currently.
One problem there, Cassie.
Hmm.
He points at the chair he's sitting in.
I was gonna say, let's use half force.
Carrico.
You and
raises
console
hand.
access are a little tricky.
I'll raise a hand slightly.
He sort of wiggles his fingers at both of you. Well, if one of you wants to watch the other two work,
I will.
Great, tell me.
Sure.
I was going to gesture to let Carrick go sit down or whichever, kind of an after you gesture.
okay.
Carrico. Nod.
Pretty boy, then come and take my seat, and he's sort of standing up, and like moving out the way.
Carrico, take a seat.
Right. For now, we're going to execute a training program here, and he's sort of reaching past you, Carrick, hitting a few buttons. And so it's just going to show you the basic controls. I'll be right nearby if you get confused by anything. The rest of you, let's get you started with just general repairs. You'll know how to use a self-sealing kit. If not, we're going to go over it again. So don't worry about it. Alright, and he is going to basically start running people through emergency measures for the ship. Very basic ones, but emergency measures nonetheless. Lowe's at the helm, so Carrick and Argy.
Yo.
I need some intelligence checks, 3 of them if you'd please.
Oh boy.
I'm going to ask just because
Mhm.
I do have the boon that gives me training in all skills. Do I get any bonus?
You do
because
not.
of that? Okay. I figured I didn't, but I figured I'd check just
Mhm.
in case. And I rolled that one. I do not want to
Ow.
roll that one.
I will admit I genuinely didn't expect you to roll lower than me.
I mean, I literally rolled as low as I could.
I mean, your lowest will still almost be one of my.
Are you rerolling that?
I am pretty sure that's an ability check, so I'm going to use a point of sorcery to reroll that.
Okay.
There you go.
Alright, and the other 2.
At least not safe, so I can't redo it that. Actually, for my 9, I'll burn a point of lucky as well.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your 9 then.
Yep. I know it's better.
11, 11, 15, 21, 18, 18.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I see. My brain was going, how do I roll 5 each time we get different number?
Wow.
It's a
That's a
plus
bonus.
Head
Yeah.
that.
Note that down real quick. 11, 11, 15.
I'd burn more luckies for it, but honestly, I feel having 2 11s and a 15 is very on brand for Archie.
21.
She's trying, she's just not that bright.
Based on this math, you have blown up this ship. Congratulations.
Smarter than I used to be, too.
Okay, as you are learning through this, Carrick, like the first training program it launches, has you basically you crash immediately as far as the simulator is concerned. Like you barely get off the ground, and everyone you can see like there's little visual HUDs in front of them. The view screen sort of split into 2, and that is a horrible disaster that happens. But the rest of you are being led in how to use patch kits, how to use these little plasma torches. And I would like intelligence checks from everybody else. Just 2, please.
2 in total, or 2 from each of us?
2 from each of you.
Okay. Just go down the list. Who's first? Gibson?
Ow,
Okay.
my hand!
Okay. Yeah.
With her hand to her pants.
All right, I'll go. Oh, Cass.
Cassie, your hair's on fire!
Oh God.
And I mean your body hair, like all over.
Okay.
Tess is now on the floor rolling.
For the love of God.
And Talday.
Freaks out from the hair being on fire. I was on fire. And then
Birds
realizes-
of hand. First rolls of failure.
Oh, for fuck you!
Fuck you, Telday.
Okay. So the first.
Technically, Telday has done this before, so
The first roll is basically utilizing the self-sealing kits, which are one of the quickest and easiest methods to do. They have like just a slab of metal with various cuts and such in it for you to practice on. And
Shield yourself inside.
yeah, Gifton, you managed to like trap yourself within the bulkhead.
Self-sealing isn't meaning seal yourself. It means it does it itself.
Cassie and Corvus, you basically just don't adhere it properly in the first place for itself to seal. Like there's obvious gaps and so on.
Falls off the wall.
Yeah. Telday,
I
perfect.
thought it was stick here.
Telday actually had done it before,
Uh-huh.
which is the upsetting
Yeah.
thing.
The second one is welding. Basically using the plasma torch to
Oh, I did okay on that.
to cut in, or in Gifton's case, desperately cut her way out. And yeah,
Kool-Aid man my way out.
Gifton, yeah, you can do this. It's kind of like sewing, you're just putting 2 things together, and
fuck, she's getting way
yeah.
out. So the opposite.
Cassie, why you were too focused and like your eyes, it's blinding. stared directly at the dot, which is amazing because there's a little flip-up shield on the device to like shield the light from you. Just didn't put it up.
I
I
was looking
thought
more
it was.
over top of it.
Corvus and
Too dark.
Corvus and Telday,
It's in the way.
yeah, you do perfectly adequately.
Like surgery, but with hot flaming metal.
Piloting wise, both Carrick and Argy, you're able to go through the basic routines after Carrick's first initial disastrous crash.
I thought Carrick
Oh wait, Carrick re-rolled it. Never mind.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, did Average out and I cause that?
My brain was going. The magic didn't work. Actually, okay, it's
No.
fine.
Yeah. RG, basically, all of your simulations, there's no smooth one. Like the ship comes out banged up, dinged up. You hit a few things. It's never perfect, and like the computer isn't giving you a passing score as far as it's concerned.
Mhm.
But you do manage to fly and land the ship. Carrick, after an initial flawless round, you're like, yeah, I got this, and you get a passing score, but it's not perfect, you know. It's like the ship would need some maintenance work after each one, but you do all right.
Key takeaway from mine is we're not dead at the end of it.
Yes.
quite possibly.
And Keller actually comes up and he's like, hey, not bad. I mean, this would be enough to like pass a civilian flying charter, so well done.
I mean, we're not dead.
Yeah. And listen, for your level of education, it's pretty dang good.
What's an education?
Something you
Gone enough.
apparently lack. Okay. Everyone else, mostly fantastic job on welding and so on. I especially like the little patterns you've done, Gifton. Very, very cute.
Look, flowers.
Yes. Maybe skip those in an emergency.
You can't rush art.
You can if the ship is depressurizing.
If it's a choice between art or dead, we may want to go with the not do the
But
art
the
thing.
ship shouldn't be under pressure. That's not good.
No, the depressurizing, the inside has pressure going outwards, essentially.
Yeah, so it's relaxing.
He squints at you a bit.
Huh?
Can't tell if this is real or not.
No, it's not real yet. The dreamer's not awake.
That's,
Okay.
Mean for what you
that
said?
is actual
this is-
gifting. Yes.
Yeah, no, this is legitimate.
Okay. Now, on other notes, some of you are quite adept at magic, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
This is not my forte, so I'm gonna pass you off on the skeletal lady, and she'll go through some things that have been done.
Okay.
Hi, Valda.
Fowler's stepping on board, and hello, Gifton, and I am not the skeletal lady, I am Fowler. Mhm.
Snap off a salute out of
Got
habit.
it.
Hey,
Thank you, Telday.
Tigers or something else.
Right. We have made some additions. We've tried to keep it as based in common conjuring and other magical means as possible, just to keep it easy to maintain, easy to repair in a disaster. First of all, we have elected to reinforce the ship's shield systems with a magical bubble as well. If one fails, hopefully the other will maintain. And we've got a small capability of generating oxygen around the ship. So you should have some degree of safety out there. I'm going to ask our casters to look over the rune work and familiarize themselves with it. A little bit of charge in the right runes will reactivate them if they get disabled somehow. Unless, of course, there is still an anti-magic field or some variety of thing up. Otherwise, if you look over here, we have a removed panel that she sort of just like pulls this panel like open. It's been hinged, and there is a magical doorway behind it. We felt the ship needed some extra space with what was going to be happening. It's just a small room. Again, figured to keep the spell easy to maintain. Nothing fancy. Just a small.
Dingus can make the food room here.
Me.
Yeah, food room.
Perhaps try that in an emergency.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, that Dingus, you're an emergency.
I'm guessing it's extra dimensional, like
it
mansion.
is, yes. Just a, well, not quite a mansion, a single room, but as functions are essentially the same.
Okay.
It's more really. You're familiar with the little rope trick spell?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
It actually has a bit more in commonality with that. Like, there isn't actually. This bulkhead is the door. We didn't deem it fit to seal it off with its own enchantment. Beyond that, we do have magical radios added in as well, just in case the standard ones stop functioning. We have no guarantee that they'll work, but we have some hope, at least. This is all a wing and a prayer. But,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is the great unknown.
yes. But with the great goddess's blessing, this magic should function out there without any interference. Yes. Beyond that, if you look at the roomwork we have described here by the airlock, if one of you can activate this with a simple cantrip degree of magic, it will create a platform around the ship. The ship can't really land on it, but it'll stay level with it and you'll be able to walk on it.
Oh, so that way we can go outside and
Yes, and lastly,
chatter.
unless the air bubble.
Air.
However, well, there will be an air bubble. We do want to get you fitted into spacesuits properly because we don't want you to not have any air out there in an emergency. Keller tells me that it's just a matter of punching your dimensions into the ship and asking it to replicate them. So, measurements.
Gifton probably knows everything.
I do know everybody's kind of.
It's been a while.
Okay, it only has to be a loose approximation. Erring on the larger side is better than erring on the small side. So how about you give me those, Keller, sort of going over to the computer console?
Yep, I'll go give out the measurements because I do everybody's clothes, so I have measurements.
Does Gifton have up-to-date Gifton measurements?
Gifton does not have up-to-date Gifton measurements, but Gifton's also being hesitant because she doesn't know which measurement she's supposed to give.
Yeah,
it sounded like we were talking
Angel.
Well, it sounded like we were
Gifton.
talking about little Gifton in the ship to make space, or are we not doing little Gifton? That's what Gifton wants to know.
It's up to you. Or you can ask somebody, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. So, guys, if I know you were talking about having me be little Gifton, so I don't take up that much space in the ship. Also, was there anybody else coming with us that we need to do?
Echo was going to come.
Oh, I have Echo's measurements too.
Fowler sort of pauses there and goes, "Bringing along Echo.
She wanted to come.
Isn't that a little inadvisable? She's not really a combatant."
I told her what we were doing, and it would be dangerous.
Well, I can't stop you from taking her if she wishes to go. I would just advise some caution there.
Ideally, she stays.
We'll keep her safe.
And ideally, if she stays in the ship, that gives another set of hands that can do stuff.
So anyway, I'll get her measurements plugged in. But do you guys want me to be little gifting? Because if I am, I'm not gonna be able to use the patchy kit so good. I already got sealed into the bulkhead once.
I'm gonna look inside the
But I guess
extra
I'm not
dimensional
really
space.
good at fixing.
There's quite a bit of
things.
space with the extra dimensional space.
You should, with that extra space, I'm guessing we'll be fine. I mean, we're kind of bringing in thing.
We're also bringing in like the physical was a really big dragon though.
My guess is that he could change shape like the others, probably in his physical form.
Outer nods. Morgani says that he can, and if you can't convince him not to, then I think it's already gone badly.
I mean, that and they're able to survive in the vacuum of space anyway, so really just as we're traveling, he kind of grabs on, we go.
Potential to that.
Follows us, yeah.
When the father's saying there's potential that Stephen's actually shaking his head and going, listen, I don't know about the warp bubble keeping him safe while we're going at way faster speeds than those things are capable of traveling at.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to keep up with us at that point.
Another bubble?
It's a more figure of speech. It's less a bubble and more a field that bends space so we can...
Those are powerful flowers.
So,
all right. Well, I'll just put in my regular measurements, and then yeah.
What are your regular measurements?
My human measurements.
I thought the human was the non-regular you.
Yeah, I'll put in my non-regular. I'll put in the I was putting like normal people size or measurements is what I'm putting in. So
she's being racist to her own people today.
being racist.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly in the future, you know.
What?
What?
What do you mean it would fly in the future?
Being racist.
Oh.
That kind of human washing. Okay. All right. And he's basically replicating off a suit for each of you at a time. Cassie's actually takes 2 goes on the replicator to get done.
So should we be storing all of our food stuff in this room?
All your food stuff?
No, it's gonna be a long journey, right? So we should probably have food.
It's gonna be like 3 hours.
Oh. Is there a bathroom?
Yes.
I'm going to point at the suit.
Oh God, no! Try not to do anything in the suits, please.
Oh.
Like there are measures for that, but you won't find it pleasant. No. Here, look. This seat here. If you hit this button, it'll pull itself back into bulkhead and deploy it to toilet. It is unfortunately in front of everybody. Space is a premium. So I suggest if you think you're going to need to go, you go before the trip.
I have to go off. I'm pregnant.
Okay, maybe we can put a curtain or something up for you.
Hey.
Otherwise, food. We have the replicator to make food.
That's invisibility on yourself.
But we will have a few emergency supplies. Not that they would do much good out there if we need them, I suppose. But we must always have them. Right.
Don't worry, we're gonna return your favorite place back to you.
I mean, you can't if it's destroyed, and I'm destroyed out there, so a little nervous.
Oh, you're coming?
Yeah, I figure teaching you guys to fly is one thing, but you'd rather have me doing it. And I mean, if you don't want me to, and you feel you're sufficient, I will happily stay behind. Fowler looks at him then when he says that, and he goes, "What? It's up to them. They don't need me. They don't need me."
I'd feel better having him along.
I don't want him to get into danger, but if he's super brave and willing to do it.
God promised me no more hell if I went, so I'm kind of willing to give it a try.
Should be getting promised no more hell anyway, but that's what I think. All right.
I mean, you can go tell her that.
No. No.
No? That's what I thought. Right. So yeah, so who else is coming?
Echo and us. Mm.
As far as I know, that's it.
Morgani,
And the
the
mental.
mental. Telsha,
Is
spiritual,
Spiri
surely.
coming in a form?
Spiri's coming.
Right. Okay.
Oh, Karen, can I borrow your radio?
Absolutely. You should pull it out and hand it over.
Cool. I want to make sure I say goodbye to Karen then before we go. That way they know we're out.
I mean, we're not gonna depart for a couple of hours. We got some things to go over, but
Oh wow! Even more hours.
yeah. But you don't think we're done, do you?
I thought this was it.
Mm-mm. And you get caught up in another round of training. We're gonna go over more system stuff. He's trying to teach you what he can, and his knowledge isn't exactly fleshed out itself. But yes, unless anybody has anything they need to do, the time can actually be passed until takeoff.
Nothing on Carrick's end.
Nothing here.
Just collect Echo.
Okay, right.
I just wanted to.
And probably get her
Go
fitted
check.
for a suit.
Yeah, you can talk to your family and so on.
I just want to make sure I do a check-in because
Yeah.
we haven't checked in on the people in the tree in a while.
Yeah.
This is my check-in.
Right. Suits are fitted and make sure that they actually do fit. You try to keep them on, even if you don't have your helmets on.
And I'm also gonna do a quick prayer to Ellen. That's just a sing song. It's not any request or anything.
But you want to radio family and check in, and Care picks up and goes, "Hey, hun, how's it all going?"
So we're gonna go help Morgani pick up her kids.
Happening now?
Yeah, we're gonna be going here just a bit and just putting the last of it together.
You do actually hear like a visible sort of a gulp from the other side, just that worried swallowing before he goes, "Oh, you're how long are you going to be gone?"
Maybe a day. I'm not sure. They said it's gonna be like a 3-hour tour out there. And then I'm assuming like another 3 hours back, but I don't know how long it's gonna be out there, so I'd say at least a day. I
That's
don't know
at
how
least
long after.
quicker than I thought it would be. I mean, the way they keep
so
talking about space, you'd think it's bigger.
They said something about a bubble, and I think when it pops, we go faster. I don't really understand.
I don't understand the science stuff.
I don't understand this. It's this science magic. It's kind of weird and interesting, but weird.
Okay. Well, hey kids, wanna tell Mummy good luck?
If Cassie's mom comes by, don't let her in. Traveler, okay?
Was it Michael? Okay. Hang on. No, Daddy's still talking, and you can hear he called them over, and now he's still trying to keep the radio away from little children. Is something up with Michael? Wait, no, she doesn't know us, right?
She doesn't know us right now, but she's heard a lot of weird things. So.
Okay,
yeah.
right. We'll make sure we'll keep Traveler close until you get back.
Yeah, don't let it any strange angels either.
Strange angels, they're all strange.
You know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean. Okay, all right. Just come on up, and you start to hear the calls of Mom.
I guess it gets a little emotional.
Yeah,
they're babies.
But yes, you're able to say goodbye to your family.
Mhm.
Anyone else need to?
Use a radio, talk to somebody.
RJ will probably do the same thing to try and talk to Marissa.
Okay, yeah, you can get in contact with Marissa, and you hear her sort of taking a breath before she even starts speaking with you. She's like, "Okay, you're going to come back safely, right?
Absolutely.
Because I will be furious if you don't."
Well, I know. I have no intent of making you mad.
You better not. So
I'll be fine.
okay, I love you. Please be
I
safe.
love you so much.
And yeah, she actually quite quickly puts the radio down. You hear that disconnect, like she's having trouble.
Sad.
Mhm. And right, Skifton, you wanted to do a prayer?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna sing a song for Ellen.
Okay.
I'm not gonna burden him with anything going on because I know he's in his own place. So.
Meanwhile, Echo is like, she's got her helmet on, even despite not needing to, and she seems to be like entertaining herself with it. You keep seeing it like fog up a bit, but then the helmet systems quickly take care of that.
Of course, it's just smiling.
Fogged clear. And then you just, Corvus, it's really weird.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Who turned out the lights?
it's like, I don't like it.
You don't what?
I don't like it.
Well, you gotta keep it on.
But no one else is wearing it.
It's
I feel trapped again.
yeah. Take off the helmet.
How?
You don't need it on.
How?
I
It's
think
really
that
hard to
latch
do the
there-
latches with the gloves.
Yeah, here, I'll get it. And he undoes the latch. No, you don't have to turn your head when I turn the helmet. No, don't.
Alright, you're able to get the helmet off of her.
There. Just keep this on hand. And then when we go up, put it back on.
I feel like one of those animals in that book with the shell.
Yeah?
Yeah, she sort of like holds the really wide collar and like puts her head down a bit into it.
Yeah.
And Morgani, the mental and the spiritual all come on board. The mental gives you all a sort of respectful nod. Spiritual waves.
Gonna give all of them a very respectful part bow.
You could
Mor-
bow also.
Morgani
And
sort
then
of raises her
give the
eyebrow.
radio to James and Raziel. Bye.
You actually hear her, what, now?
Now.
Now? One moment, not now. I'm coming. Right. And after like a couple of minutes, you see actually James like rushing into the doorway of the shuttle. Looks like he sprinted through the facility. And he comes on board and marches straight up to you, Gifton, and despite the bulk of the suit, pulls you into a hug.
Yep. Oh, big hug.
Anything happens out there, you call for me, and I will find a way. Okay?
Oh. Okay. I'll wish my way home, I promise.
If anything happens out there that I can't whisk you away from, I don't think you're going to be able to do anything. Morgani says, and James just looks and goes, "I will find a way, respectfully." And she just gives him a look of like, "Sure, fine, whatever."
Do not doubt his bravery.
Don't doubt his bravery. I doubt his abilities.
Oh,
I don't.
It's a simple matter of might. But if the solution helps, then yes, he will come to save everybody.
He would.
Yeesh. Oh.
Hope overcomes. I say with a smile. Now you.
She stares at you for a second
ready?
before just like inclining her head.
Do you have your radio thing so we can get a hold of you?
I do indeed. Lovely future tech.
All right, good. Well,
Just hoping it holds out, huh?
hope it works.
Ah,
Guns.
finger guns. By the way, just as a catch up, Abaddon appears to be at her post.
Oh, okay. Awkward.
Yeah, so it's still on it.
So that means okay. Well, that's fun. Okay.
James,
Yeah.
can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Cass is pulling out a wrapped object. Can you give this to Abaddon and let them know the future isn't written?
Sure. He'll take it from you.
A future sports almanac.
Wow.
No, that's Abaddon's sword.
Right. Okay, well, I'll see about talking to them.
Yeah, maybe find a gentle way to ease that to them, because that's
Yeah.
yeah.
He gives
Or-
you a nod, Cassie, and says, I'll see to it that the appropriate things happen, at the very least. Thanks, good luck to all of you. Come back
Good luck.
safe.
You will. It'll be okay.
And he steps back off of the ship, staring up at you, and there's a look of guilt on his face, like he wants to be there.
Mm-hmm. Gifted looks like she doesn't want to be there.
Mhm.
Don't want to go into the scary box. They've told me too many scary things about.
Okay, right. Pre-flight check's done. Carrick, if you join me in the co-pilot seat, please.
Yes.
RG, if I explode, you're going to take over my spot.
Okay.
Right.
Don't explode.
I mean, ideally not, but
I'd love not to.
Sometimes demons just explode.
They do not just
No!
explode. Listen, these old shuttles, their wiring not great. These sort of gestures at the console front of you, they can explode quite catastrophically. So if we get hit by something,
Should you not be giving us some form of reassuring speech rather than we are now going into a death trap?
That may or may not explode if you touch it wrong.
I don't want to be on the.
I mean, I
boat.
probably should, but all right, let's get this doorway closed up.
Yeah.
No safety.
Right.
Gifted just glomps onto the ground outside. Not leaving anymore.
So before we go, couldn't we just take Traveler there?
Do you want to risk
Yeah,
that?
if-
I mean, you take all of our family and friends.
And the one thing that's going to make this all fix itself after we fix this problem?
Also, Traveller had actually informed one of you, I'm pretty sure, that it was actually only capable of travelling on this earthly sphere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that. But
So no.
So,
I
yeah,
remember
we're not doing it.
Someone had mentioned that, yeah.
Don't worry, this will be fine. Absolutely okay, fine. And he's hitting a couple of buttons to like turn on the basically outside communication for the ship, essentially broadcasting speakers. He's like, all right, wonderful mage team of death, please transport the ship out of your wonderful facility so that I can fly and not impact the walls. Right. And there's a few moments before the outside of the ship seems to shimmer, undertaking a teleportation spell, and there is a little funk as you land in the sands outside. Okay. Right, let's see what you remember. Carrick, get us up in the air.
Gibson's gonna Just enter
What
suit.
do I need to make a roll, or is it?
Yep.
Am I okay? Int roll again.
Just straight int roll. Yep.
I'm gonna take my
Actually, with your
guitar out,
rolls, you can add your proficiency bonus now.
and I'm gonna start playing music to calm myself.
So the proficient is okay to just do an int save since I have no bonuses. on
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Oh wait, no, I
Do you have
no,
bonuses on it?
'cause good luck. The luck stone would work on this anyway. It's just an ability check. So, but I'll do it this way just to make it roll 20 plus.
In fact, after you've done that, if Blackheart and Kronos, if you want to add basic shuttle path piloting as a tool instead to int, you may do so. You'll be proficient with it.
There we go.
I do have actually saves on extra bonuses on
Just make
saves.
sure my
So
button works. Yep, my button works. Okay.
Okay, right. Yeah, you actually take off relatively smoothly. And shuttle rock side to side a little bit as you acquaint yourself with actually flying a ship.
Fun.
Doesn't match up perfectly with the simulators.
see if it rolls the same thing. It does not add my +1, but close enough.
And he softly sort of gives you reminders that you may or may not need, and you can start taking the shuttle into orbit. It's actually getting bright out into Har now, like the
Oh, it's a very quick small thing. Would the time we've taken in between when you were taught the stuff and now be considered a short rest?
not really. You were all active.
Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure.
And yes, you can see the sun coming over the horizon as you take off, and the familiar sights of flying through cloud cover out into the reaches of space. And
No, we gotta go quick because all the stars are gonna go away because the sun's up.
what is that? How you think it works?
Yeah, that the stars have to
No,
run
the
away
stars are-
because they get hot and they'll get burned.
And Stephen actually pauses then and goes, "Actually, I'm not going to teach you about this because your sphere of stars is kind of different from ours. So never mind. Maybe it does work like that. I don't know."
While we were doing things, I contacted Oberon and had him agree not to take away the sun or the stars and just let us go.
Oh, that was smart of you, Telday. Thank you.
Thumbs up.
There's a small snort from Morgani, and the spiritual just gives a thumbs up as well. It's like, that's very clever thinking right there.
Not
I'm gonna give her
commenting
child, leave
any
me
further.
alone.
Just don't tell her how many stars there are.
I was just thinking, is Spirian the same skeleton
Yep.
that they've been in? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like you got a familiar here with you. But yes. You are directed to fly a little around the planet as it's not actually just going directly away, it's in the other direction from the planet. Which doesn't take too long. Spend about 15 minutes moving before he goes, right. Okay, we've got some pre-programmed destinations. We're not dropping ourselves right at where they should be because don't want to risk accident. Your celestial sphere is strange. But so if you hit that button there, and then choose to execute course, and it was just fine. And you're able to do so, Carrick.
Okay.
Unless you want to go your own way.
You can go your
No.
own way.
I'm pretty sure they figured out which way we're supposed to go. So
Okay. There is a shimmering around the ship, and then a strange distortion as space bends around the ship, and it doesn't feel like you're physically moving. There's no sudden thrust or anything. It's just
stops playing her guitar for a minute to look out the window and be like, "Whoa!"
yeah, and it just looks like a strange shimmering energy bubble around the ship.
Neat.
Right. We have a few hours to kill. Regulations say that you stay at the helm, but ain't nothing gonna happen until we get there. So he's just like sort of spinning his chair to look back into the cabin. Anybody want to play tic tac toe or something?
Cass
I want to play tic
is,
tac toe.
Want to play tic tac toe?
Cass is opening her bags and just drawing out all sorts of materials,
Oh
and then
no!
pulling out her sewing kit.
Oh, I thought you were going to start wood carving here in the shop.
Stephen Keller will play
As
tic tac toe
fun
with
as that
you.
would be, no.
How do you play tic tac toe?
Oh, you don't know how to play tic tac toe? I'll teach you how to play tic tac toe.
Archie's gonna briefly pat down her pot to him. I'd offered to play cards, but unfortunately my cards were set on fire when I died.
Eric can pull his out.
So, right, one of us is an X and one of us is a circle, right?
Mhm.
And the aim is to get 3 of those lined up. Okay.
Okay.
Right. I'll go first to show you.
Okay.
Right. Okay. He's going to trounce you at tic tac toe for a while because he knows the cheats.
Well,
I
I'm
was-
the say the first move Gifton's gonna make
Mhm.
is after they make their circle or their X, is Gifton's gonna make 3 in a row without stopping.
Cunning, but not actually how you're allowed to play this. We have to
But
take
you said-
turns.
That was my turn though.
No. You only have to draw once each turn.
Oh, that makes it hard.
Yes, that's the point.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
I like your thinking, though.
She should obviously play a circle and then just do like a weird infinity symbol, with 3
Listen,
circles.
The powerful positions are the corners, so I go for those first.
Right, and this doesn't last long. Tic tac toe gets boring real quick.
Even when it's against someone
Uh-huh.
incredibly stupid, right?
Yeah.
Play music. I play music.
I used to like pick at the guitar a little bit, but like I can't really say I play it. I'm not very good. I'm still learning my chords when things happen, so you know.
Oh, yeah, we got time to kill. Offer up my guitar.
You have a guitar?
Yeah, I have a guitar. I have a guitar with metal strings.
They're not. Wait, when was that in?
I got it in Faramir.
Right. Okay.
Remember, we've been bouncing around time for a while.
Yes, but even your time, I didn't think these existed. Right.
Someone bouncing around time.
God, what is this made from?
Wood.
It's really heavy.
It is. Okay. Sorry. So this is how you. I'm gonna start teaching them how to play guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Yep. All right. So
Snap a string.
everyone-
break a mask.
everyone else has to listen to the terrible chord strumming.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a shame we didn't bring any of the brass instruments that you liked, Echo.
What? Why?
Oh, you could join them.
That would be
Okay.
really loud in here.
It would be loud.
Besides, I don't think like that. So those take like you gotta breathe a lot, right? And don't we have to be careful about how much we're breathing in here?
Are we not supposed to breathe as much?
Oh, that you're able to. Fuck. Yeah.
Oh, my breath.
No, you don't need to hold your breath. The ship recycles it. Like there's more than enough oxygen. There's infinite oxygen.
Don't worry, I have not been breathing the whole time.
See, we have a spare allocation of oxygen.
While this is going on, the draconic family is sitting like in the back of the shuttle, and like they're just really awkwardly silent around each other.
Someone ice break that.
Someone get the ice pick out.
Right? And it needs to be chipped. It's dead cold
Um,
over there.
Telshus seems to be, writing in a notebook, and occasionally like glancing up at Spiritual and Morgani. More so at Spiritual, as if like keeping an eye on them.
Is writing, drawing, both? Does it seem?
Just seems to be writing.
Pen movements. Okay.
Yeah.
Spirit, what's your favorite song?
The Sweet Old Sailor from Selendor.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good song. It's catchy.
I mean, it is a bit of an earworm, but
Just say
Really?
this song that we know.
I would have figured you would have liked something, more local for you.
Listen, there's a lot out there to appreciate, and for one of my sorts, I must appreciate beyond just my locale.
Okay. All right. Well, can you sing any of it?
Oh, I could. I'm not going to, but I could.
Oh. But I super believe in you.
Wow, that is the most tasteless faith I have ever received.
Wow.
Let,
No
foulness in
sustenance
your
from
mouth
that.
there. Question to the GM actually, because I can't remember if we had discussed this with. Had we meant any mention of the use of the ocular?
Have you what?
For
We
any of
talked
this
about
with the magical? I can't remember if we brought up the ocular with her and if it was needed.
I don't believe so.
I'm actually going to head back to them, to the group then, and well, there's talk of music being discussed.
Morgani's just turns her gaze to you slightly. The mental politely lowers her book. The mental seems to disregard you entirely, just still chattering with Gifton.
Spiritual.
Spiritual rather, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's just, just going. Listen, it's a song about a sailor finding his way back through, the guidance of the greater fate. How could I not like it?
God.
It's
It is a very hopeful song, and I do like it, but
I was just thinking that we hadn't brought this up. Previously, we had a glass statue that allowed us to what was it called? An ocular to the physical before when they were heading here. Do we know you know exactly where they are? Would that help more to get there?
The mentor and Morgana actually look at each other, and Morgana actually sort of leans and goes, "Where did you get that?"
long time ago.
It was a very long time ago from
the glass blower and Wyndon.
Yes, I believe
Corvus got you that as a present.
I did.
Yes, we believe it may have been a gift from the dreamer passed on through this glass blower.
Is that a different
one?
It's,
Remember that first time I used it, I saw the dreamer and I didn't see the physical?
Yes, that was the other side of that.
So it's not just directly connected to my children.
Not completely, but every time after that we used it, we saw the physical. But I don't know if it's just distance.
Do you have it on you?
Carrick's going to pull it out of his. I think he's got in the bag holding.
Give it the solo
No, it's in the
bag holding.
haversack. It's in the haversack.
Didn't you put it away after it started clawing up the airship? Oh wait, no, that was you clawing up the airship.
That was him.
Yes.
That's right, because you were going crazy.
He was being possessed by it or something.
It was also Corvus's thing that clawed it up a bit too, one of the times.
Yeah.
But Carrick is going to pull it out.
But Carrick's room got you, and you weren't there. character room got caught up
I
by
was
it.
saying that bit out of character.
I'm sorry, I thought you were saying it in character.
Nope.
That
'cause that's not something I do
was
know.
that was one of the from one of the dreams before I was more protected against what was happening. But Carrick will pull out the glass dragon.
Crude facsimile of my kind. The mental sort of mumbles, looking at it, and Morgan is actually reaching out to take it.
The wings
Kirk
are
will.
not quite right.
Yes, there's.
If you let Morgana take it, she sort of turns it over in her hands a couple of times, and then like holds it up. Well, I suppose we can see what it lets us see. That might actually be ill-advised, Mother. We've made a plan here. We have built what protections we can to fit within that plan, and she sort of gestures around herself. I
might
think
also-
adding another element we cannot predict in would be ill-advised.
There was an aspect.
Morgani's like looking at the mental like as if just surprised that someone's correcting her.
There was an aspect about it that appeared that it also gave whatever we were seeing the ability that they could see us.
Yes. The physical tried to use its breath weapon on us, and
They got
we were
mad
able,
at me.
even cutting the connection, we were able. It
He did up
Did
the
Still
kick
got
some.
hot, didn't it?
Yes.
There's a somewhat annoyed rumble from Morgani, and she slowly lowers the ocular back to her lap. I suppose your words have some merit, daughter. Maybe we'll refrain from using it right now. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, though.
You're welcome. I apologize for not mentioning it earlier. I didn't think it until just now.
And she, her grip on it seems to tighten ever so slightly, and she just goes, "It feels important."
Out of character, because I suddenly didn't. Were we bringing the egg with us, or was that part of the bargaining?
No, I have not
If
taken
that was part of the bargaining.
Okay. I was just making sure because I suddenly.
we aren't taking the egg someplace might be dangerous.
That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember 100%. I wanted to make sure before I say something.
I think you were just going to talk about releasing it to them.
Yeah.
It's basically we are going to release it. It's not part of a bargaining chip because Gifton's against the idea of using a child as a bargaining chip.
That's leverage.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's just being, hey, we located one of your children. We'd like to reunite you.
It's
But only if you're good.
No, not
no.
only if you're good. Just we are
No.
going to reunite.
We're going.
It's
Just
it's
no.
Ifs, ands, and buts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's-
otherwise you are holding a child hostage
Yeah.
for conditions, and that's not okay.
no. It's a bargaining chip in the fact of we're using it as
To show a good faith.
Show of good faith
Yeah,
that we did not want to release before you were new, so that it didn't just.
yeah, and also
Go
we
out
didn't
on
want
its
to take
own
them out here
risk it.
because it's not a safe place for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Kirk is couldn't actually because from where they are, can I still see
The
the co-pilot seat and everything?
oh yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah, like there isn't much in the way of divide. Like there's a slight narrowing of a doorway frame that something could shut, but like it's a pretty open plan.
Carrick's actually going to pull out his tarot deck and actually just kind of sit closer to the other dragons and start kind of flipping through it because this is part of his plan for the trip back for remembering. So
Okay.
because it's the deck he drew during the year downtime. So
I actually wanted to try to cast a reading.
Oh, we're doing tarots?
Carrick has a tarot deck that he drew of most of us actually. Unfortunately, it doesn't have it finished because I can't figure out 2 last cards yet.
You like any songs,
Oh.
Morgani?
I can appreciate the complexities of them, but I can't say that I have an artistic ear.
We saw people in Winden sometimes play music, and then there'd be like magic sparkles that come off of them. So I always figured you liked music.
No, that's not my domain. That's my sister. That's Lala Sills.
Oh,
Her music, it always tapped into my domain in ways I couldn't quite understand. But it was a beautiful thing, and I'm glad to hear that it is being seen in this world again.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make it sad.
Mm. It's not sad, it's bittersweet. There is happiness in it as well. It's sadder if it was fully gone.
Do you have any good name suggestions? How do gods come up with names?
We simply know what our names were, unless you mean for naming the angels and so forth.
No, I mean like, did Hea just come out and be like, "I'm Hea"?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry. It's just the best thing. Just yes.
oh, so I don't need to come up with baby names.
I don't know. What you are doing has never happened before.
Confused.
Actually, weird question to the GM.
Mm-hmm.
Is tarot reading stuff like that actually thought of as connected to one of the gods at all?
Yeah, that does be Miris.
Okay, then I'm not sure if I want it right now. We have enough Mirror-based stuff in here. It might cause like some quantum singularity or something to appear and eat us.
Morgani sort of looks up briefly and goes, perhaps the names you come up with are the names that they are supposed to have.
Oh, maybe they're kind of like communicating who they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a great idea. So, do you hang out with mortals ever, or do you usually not?
Very, very rarely. I have deigned to visit upon mortal kind in my physicality. The last time was about 300 years ago.
So, what do you do then?
I nudge things along when they need to be. As your favourite Taya is prone to do so recklessly, I do so in a more calculated fashion.
Methodically.
May we ask what caused you to visit mortals the last time?
He seems to ponder for a second and goes, frustration, mainly.
At what they were doing, or what was?
At how
not
little
being done.
progress they were making. I have a reputation for hoarding secrets, and it's quite true. But people forget that I am the giver of knowledge, and to see stagnation irritates me. So if the right little secret can help, I do let them go sometimes.
So, what do you do for fun?
She actually looks a little perplexed for a second there. I don't, I suppose.
You don't like make new spells come into existence?
She shakes
Like
her head.
work, though. Do you like?
Well, I mean, she's a goddess of magic.
I like
don't
to read
know.
tawdry novels because Lady
Well-
Gentle got me into reading those because she said that if I read more, then I'd get smarter. But she said I should read things that I like so that way it would be more fun. So I read. I've got all these. These ones are from Hexenreich. This one's about a dragon prince.
There's
and
a
lady.
very briefly mirthful upturn of her lip as she goes, "Dear Gifton, I know everything that is written."
Speaking of which, Gift, in that last one you gave Marissa, she has not stopped talking for the last like month.
Poor RG over here.
So if you know everything that's written, so you must like theater, like improvs.
Yes,
Then you don't
actually,
know what's gonna happen.
I suppose there is some merit to that.
No, she hates improv troops.
You won't speak a word of that to Miris, though.
Of course not.
Prof Lord over there.
But yes, improvised plays are
Improvised stories.
more interesting than those that have been, well, planned out and written down to me.
Something off the rails.
Yeah, she actually shifted in her seat, like, uncomfortably, like, this is strange to her to be sharing. I haven't really looked at one in a long time, though.
Oh, you should. They're good. I like them. I like the ones where they let the audience yell things.
Audiences
Like-
yell things now.
Yeah, well, sometimes what they do is they go, okay, and then what type of townsfolk is going to arrive? And then the next actor has to suddenly improvise being that townsfolk, and then they come up with the.
I thought you were
character
talking about Panto, Kenna says.
What's Panto?
Oh, it's like it's a bit of a comedy play, and like the people on the stage will be like, she's not there, and the audience will be like, oh yes, she is.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's fucking terrible, but it's fun.
It's schlock, right?
Yeah, good stuff.
Sometimes terrible's good.
Sounds awful. Morgani mumbles. Perhaps I will witness one of these improvised plays where the audience participates, though.
It could be fun, and you get to see sometimes people come up with really dumb things to add on, or they come up with something really clever, and you see the actors struggle. And I like to see the actors struggle.
There's a thoughtful look on her face for a moment before she slowly nods. Perhaps I could provide some suggestions during these plays, then.
Yes, it would probably be really great.
What do you do for enjoyment, then?
Oh, I read my books. I sew. I like to make outfits because it's fun. For myself and for others because I used to fix things all the time back in Tarnstead, and I have to play music. And sometimes I like to go flying with Dingus because he can go super high, and I really like it when we go up really high and then I can't breathe anymore, and then we go really fast down.
That's Gifton. I told you that's bad for you.
But it's fun.
No,
Me.
okay, it's fun, but it's not.
Asphyxiation play.
Oh my gosh, RJ, please.
What do you do for fun, Corvus?
Angrily talk about magic.
Well,
Yeah, you do angrily crit about magic.
yeah.
Morgani's gaze is fixed on Corvus.
Hey, there was a time.
Magic
where...
makes everything too easy. You people need to learn to feel pain all the time.
Look, I was going through some things, okay?
Your bone should stay broken for as long
Tell
as
me.
possible.
No, it's not the point
Tell
of
me.
that.
Do you still believe that magic makes things too easy?
Yes.
So, does your medicinal application to somebody's wound make their healing too easy?
No, but it's
Yes,
a
it does.
natural process.
Magic is a natural part of this world. But your treatments make their healing easier than if you had not treated them, yes? But it comes at the cost of years of learning from you. You know how magic is applied?
I see what you're getting at. I just did not have the opinions or the aptitude.
You
for
speak
that
of
kind
past
learning.
tense, and yet you still have these feelings.
Yes, because there's a lot that has changed about me.
Would you like to be able to cast magic?
I can, because I use my knowledge to facilitate it in a falsicum way. It's cheating, and I'm a hypocrite, I know.
I'm afraid you're not
Yeah,
actually casting magic.
He has a whole bunch of little brains that move through his head.
That's
through
a
his
different
veins,
thing.
And
You do realize that you are using divinity, yes?
Yes.
That is not-
divinity magic. I thought it was a kind of magic.
From a very simplified perspective. It is vastly different from the arcana that diffuses the world.
James said I could be his familiar someday.
That is incredibly rude of him.
What?
I had the intention of trying to learn magic. I knew that it was something that could be learned, yes. And I was hoping that I could pursue what the Capes wizard was doing. I felt that was something of my aptitude.
Unfortunately,
Mayhem?
to learn to
Fitting.
cast, you must have something within you already that I'm afraid you lack.
Like Carrick
And-
has dragon blood. He can make magic.
That's what also I did not agree with.
You don't think that it should be restricted to individuals gifted like that, that perhaps everybody should have access to it?
It
Yes.
makes things unbalanced. It makes
I
things
thought if you
easier
read
for
really
others.
hard, you could
and
I
do it.
think
harder.
about...
Hey, Carlos, do you remember all the times you've tried to explain medicine to me?
Yes.
Well, beyond that, about 35 cycles ago, we did see what it would be like to allow everybody to learn magic. That world didn't last long.
Is that the one that turned everything to gold?
Oh, no, that was more of a accident on someone else's part, but no,
Oh,
the world
I found that.
the world burned and froze and tore apart and all manner of things all at the same time. It unraveled itself and it was very hard to patch back up.
Oh, that reminds me. Remember this weird, the weird sucky thing in the vault that you have to have like 3 or 4 mages to handle? What? Who made that?
Her face darkens for a moment. Me.
Oh, it's really neat.
And incredibly dangerous.
I
It let me take
That's
it out,
everything
but
in
it
that
was
vault.
really. I didn't think I should have it. I'm not smart.
was
and I
trying
worried
to
I'd hurt myself.
understand the nature of one of my children.
Oh,
That makes sense.
it's really neat.
It's not neat. It is abominable.
Is it also why there's the box that makes the magic go away?
No, that's not my making. Well, I suppose you could say there is some relation.
Hmm.
Many of the things in that vault are created by your kind in various cycles. Some were made by us. A lot of the more dangerous things were made by us.
Who made Faithless?
That was a very, very angry man who had felt scorned by us.
Oh,
And she shakes her head. Okay, no mystery, no trying to keep ourselves seeming elevated from it. He was in love with an angel, and as you know, such things
are forbidden.
are forbidden and he wanted to see if he could help.
Free her from her service.
Yes.
Well, handy thing that. Very useful.
Yeah, she shakes her head sadly. It is unfortunate how much useful and horrific overlap.
I think tragic is also in there.
Yes. There's more tragedy in that fault than I care to think about.
Fair point.
Never answered the question. Learning and discovery. What I do for fun.
Ah. Well, then, would you like the spark so that you can learn?
That saying yes. I
Yes.
feel degrades.
It's what?
It
But what's the
feels.
difference from you getting it because you want to learn and you want to
I
pursue
don't.
things that she likes? Love education and
Corvus. Not
learning?
not everybody is born with the aptitude to learn the medicine you have learned. Not everybody is born with the knack that propels people like her through their passions and careers. She just has a gift, and not everybody is born with the features or the blood that allow them to mingle their way through the world or cast fast draconic magic. Everybody is born with something special. Everybody lacks something others do. Magic is just one of those things.
She's putting the option on your table.
I know she is. And I want to jump at it.
Then do so. You claim yourself to be a scholarly sort. Understand the thing that you've had such a distaste for.
I'm going to say this. If you didn't, I would. And I'm too dumb to do it. You're smart.
Please. Please, don't. Fine.
Then granted. I suggest you begin your education when you return back.
Hey! Perfect, you're gonna read a book.
Read a lot of books.
That's shouldn't be a problem for you then.
Corvus,
No.
when you start, once you're in deep into your studies, I fully expect to see your theses and dissertations in the library.
I've written 3 books already.
Then why aren't they in the library?
Because we haven't sat down in Beacon for more than a day.
That's half.
and firstly, I need to rewrite. My father tore them to pieces.
Oh, those books. Those books are
They-
getting locked up.
No, not not those in particular books. Because I've used phrasings and words that are not everyone's vernacular.
What about you, Telsha? What do you do for fun?
Well, I tend to think about my existence as I'm imprisoned in the void. But as of late, the last few days, haven't had much downtime.
Oh.
Join the club.
Yeesh, Spirit goes. That's
Have you tried that 5th dimensional chess that they play at Vermeer? Because it's pretty
no.
wild.
It seemed a little dull.
Oh.
Corvus was actually gonna perk up at that, and was like, never mind.
Spirit actually sort of leans forward and goes, well, she might be choosing the answer that is, oh, look at our suffering over the past, need a bigger word for millennia.
gonna say
Eon?
you had to have been doing
Eons,
stuff
I
before
like it,
you
yes.
got locked up, right?
It's a long time ago. I used to. Oh, my idea was fun isn't too far from what I have been doing. I like to spend time amongst scholars, hear about their discoveries, watching them find things.
That's fun.
Made me feel nice. Speary is leaning forward, looking expectantly.
Come on, Speary, what is it?
Oh, you're asking me now?
Yeah.
Oh, marvelous. I love attending sermons, getting choirs to sing. I love religious holidays are a
You like to
favorite
do
of mine.
Good old barn raisings where everybody gets together and
Yes.
they do something beautiful for the
Yes.
community.
Especially if they are giving praise to, Ilan or Mairi or Hevos as they're doing so.
Yeah, they usually do so because they usually say like a prayer at the start to do a thing, and then they all work together.
The mentors like looking at Sperry and just going, I also remember you like to get religious mobs into a fervor of violence every now and then. Little vices and weaknesses. Listen, faith is faith. And sometimes you feel it the strongest in those moments.
Was there, in our history, not when we're bouncing back and forth, but our history, was there
The Crusades?
Two Crusades.
There's multiple.
Yeah.
You remember
Uh-huh.
Louis? Yeah, you remember.
Well, no,
Louis?
yeah, there was
the Dragon War on- the
Morgani
dra-
one.
Dragon War.
Yeah.
The Crusades on Sahar. There was way more than that as well. Yes.
Mm.
And those really racist ones that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
Those also sound like pretty fun things to do. I guess mine would kind of sound boring by the token of it. What about you, Carrick? What do you like to do?
I mean, he's laid these out. Are we supposed to do something with them?
What?
The cards.
They're all cards with Carrick's family.
Oh, did you make these? They're pretty.
Yeah, I've got stuff of all of us.
Aww.
Well,
And what?
usually my family, but we've got as you all call it, the menagerie now going. But we'll see what happens after this is all done. Hopefully, and back to running the inn and whatnot.
You consider that your fun?
Surprisingly, yes, it actually is quite fun.
I mean, just he was the server boy in Tarnstead, and
Yeah.
honestly, Carrick, you seemed the happiest when you were doing it.
You did seem happy taking care of people.
Yeah.
Cassie, what do you do for fun?
Cass is holding up fabric.
Okay. Good answer.
Fun?
Yes.
People watch. Listen to people. Watch the mayhem ensue. I mean, honestly, I like to build things, yeah. Breaking things is also fun, because then I can try and put them back together better.
But it was something that you absolutely do that you enjoy, and that would be the people watching, the learning and the observing.
That and swimming. Though it's not as fun anymore.
Yeah.
You don't like the Fey buff, your Fey blessing you got?
Oh, that's fun. It's just being pushed around by the water was fun.
Oh, okay.
Child of my children.
Sort of...
Morgani's calling out for Carrick.
Yes.
Are you first in your readings?
players trying to parse what that means.
Do you know what your tarot
Was-
cards mean?
Yeah.
I do know what each of the cards are supposed to mean. Yes,
But did
In the
you
order you
draw
pulled
those
them.
for yourself?
No, those were just
I would like a very
the
basic
family.
reading for our circumstance.
Okay.
You are
Before
with the goddess of magic in her domain. It should be accurate.
As a note to the GM,
Mhm.
do you want me to use? I only did special cards for the major. Do you want me to use the whole deck
Yes.
or just the majors? Can't remember what the full deck is. Do we
Oh,
actually
good
have?
grief, Carrick.
Basic reading, 3 cards.
Yeah, I was gonna 78. Okay. I don't actually even. How do you want me? How does the GM want me to do this?
I'm going to tell you what you're drawing,
Okay, that's why I was checking for stuff. Okay,
and Carrick can
will-
intuit as he
Being
feels.
ham-fisted by Morgani.
Carrick
No, she's
will
not directing it.
pick up the cards and start shuffling and deal out. I'm going to make a. Just because I want it to be a. Actually, just see how badly I. Oh, hey, it's actually skillfully dealt out.
Nice. All right, so you're doing a nice play of it.
Yes.
As you're actually doing this, Morgani's going to go. There's much magic that deals with foretelling, prediction. It's not that I myself am able to predict things. My understanding of magic is just a faster, greater one of mortals I am able to share. Magic is a thing that already exists. What it does to predict the future, even I don't know. I know that there is power out here.
I used to be able to tell prophecies and stuff, but my bones don't work anymore.
You haven't sold enough flower crowns yet.
Now see, watch, and she's gonna take out her little bag of bones and throw them, and I can't.
I don't know what this means.
I can cast the spell, but I'm immune to divination magic, and it doesn't work.
Aw.
And so I basically will throw it and go, doesn't work. Don't know why. It just stopped working.
Could you imagine that literally she cast the bones, they immediately just
She-
like stop dead and hit the ground?
Morgani looks a little amused right now and she goes, the changes you're going through, you are immune to a lot of magic like we are. I am afraid, however, that you do not have the nuance to control that yet.
Pregnancy is painful sometimes.
Right, Carrick, you play out 3 cards.
Mhm.
And you start turning them over. And the first one is, in fact, death.
Oh.
Which, who is on death?
Death is actually
Carrick and
Carrick and
Talia.
Talia turning into dragons.
Okay.
Because it's the transformation one.
Then there is the 2 of Cups.
I
Okay.
don't think you have. You just have the majors here.
I
don't
just
you?
have the
Yeah.
majors as drawn. The minors are just
So-
basic
Traditional.
right now.
They're
Yeah.
probably 2 tankards from your tavern. For 2
And
bucks.
then finally is the Fool.
Oh god, the eggs.
The eggs.
Are they face up, face down?
They're all face up.
Okay. Interesting.
What's it mean?
I'm gonna actually use the page that I pulled up because actually it's the minors on it too. Death is usually a change, renewal, transformation. Hence the 2 of us. 2 of Cups can be happiness, relationship, that type of thing, and
Balance.
and the Fool is new beginnings.
Oh, that's a nice reading.
A hopeful reading.
Hopefully, blank slate doesn't mean something. with Traveler. Because we're trying to avoid a fully blank slate.
Echo and I did a reading in Tulia with a
They
Gnoll
knew
shaman.
so much.
It
They
was
did?
Oh, they were amazing.
Wow. Wish I'd
insightful.
gone.
They told me that things were going to be awesome. I'd have love. I'd have happiness.
Oh, God. Sorry, couldn't skip it.
I wish that somebody had given me a reading and warned me about the weird paper that Carrick started hiding in food.
What?
Me?
Yeah, remember the cookies we ate?
Eh.
They had paper in them.
Oh, the
You mean the
fortune.
Fortune cookies.
You're not supposed to eat the whole thing in one bite, Giffen.
I don't understand.
Dingus is flashing angrily, like, did not eat in one bite, bite it down, pull paper out, paper in mouth.
Yeah, paper
Yeah.
make
Cut it in half,
mess.
remove the paper, and then eat the cookie. Read the
I
paper.
ate a half the paper.
Based
Don't
on what I
eat any
remember
of the
about
paper,
biology, it's a
please.
good thing you didn't at least digest it.
I mean, it is just fiber. It would just go through the system.
No, it was paper, not fiber.
Fiber.
This is when we find
You're
out
getting
who's
angry
made
flashes of fiber, what you make clothes of.
No.
Yeah.
Dingus know this.
We know the difference between fiber and paper.
I suppose you could make clothing out of paper.
Was it paper? Or was it vellum? I
Cass is
mean,
actually stopping.
Oh, there was actually a
listening to that
month
idea
where
and
that was a
writing it
fashion where I
down
came from,
for
Keller
later.
goes.
what did you say, you?
Keller's just going, there was a month where that was a fashion for a bit, clothing with paper worked into it. It's awful.
Well, what happened when it rains?
Well, it was waterproof, so, you know.
I didn't
Paper can be
use both.
waterproof?
Oh, yeah, I mean, most things can be waterproof.
You put mint oil on
Wow.
it.
I might need to get more information about that soon.
So I don't know how the
Essentially
fuck it's
writing
done.
Waterproof paper down. Figure out how.
Did we have some?
I don't
Out
have
of
any
character?
paper.
Like,
So
I had
oil.
a spray bottle that I'd use on my shoes, and it was wonderful.
It's immune to ink, damn it.
So, can I ask what kind of animal was used to make your shoes? Because those are bright colors.
Nothing, just synthetic material.
What?
There's just blank stares.
No animals were harmed in the making of my shoes.
So it's plants.
Yeah, he actually frowns a little bit and goes, "It's synthetic," and that means that you know, why don't you pay attention to what the god is talking about or something? And my future knowledge is too grand and fast.
Synthetic is then.
But I don't know what these are made of exactly. I just know it's synthetic. You know,
Then what is
You could-
synthetic? You're saying a word that none of us know.
synthetic. It's synthetic. You know, it's like, you know, not well. It's like, you know.
You don't know what synthetic
Does it mean is it synthesized? I guess synthesized, right?
But what's synthesized?
Created out of like
Yeah, but
materials that
everything-
aren't like organic.
So it's magic?
alchemy.
Not no, not alchemy. Science. I'm pretty sure it's science.
Wait, so if it's not
Same
organic,
thing.
are they made of rock? How did they get the rock so soft?
No,
Well, I mean, rock can be ground to a flour. We put that in some wounds at times.
like chemicals and shit. You know.
Say powder.
In fact, hey, Mr. Alchemist, you know how like if you put like a couple of liquids together, maybe it'll make like a rubbery solid or something. You know,
Yes.
it's like that.
Your shoes are made of glue.
I mean, I think they've got glue in them.
Wow.
I mean,
So
looks like there's separate parts, so wouldn't you have
in
to
our
include-
terminology, synthetic would be alchemical creation.
Is
I
that
mean, it might be the
so-
closest thing you think of.
Yeah.
Huh.
So you're essentially just describing alchemy.
No, alchemy's like bullshit, really. You know.
It's not boring. It does two. You take two different things and put them together to make a new thing.
I'm
What?
describing a
described.
third of what this man does.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Morgani and Mental. This has to be painful for you.
Morgani's nodding sorry, whereas Mental Sukin, no, people are figuring things out. This is fascinating.
Yeah, this is probably doing it for her.
I'm just gonna look at the mental and go, do you know a better way to describe what synthetic is, since either one of you?
They smile briefly and go, I am very clever, but that is knowledge that has not been given to me yet.
Okay.
Does this ship have a dictionary?
Yes! Right! Okay, and he's like,
What's a dictionary?
you have dictionaries!
With words.
It
She
tells you
she
what
actually
words are.
wouldn't know, actually, Stephen. She's being serious on that question, I believe.
Cass is actually answering that. Oh, it's a big book of words. The
There's
words are
another
described.
book.
That's all books, ain't it?
There's another book that has words in it of different meanings of the word called a thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
I thought that was a dinosaur.
Synthetic, of a substance made by chemical synthesis, especially to imitate a natural product.
Alchemy.
That's
It's
not
artificial.
alchemy. It's synthesis.
What's artificial?
Okay, so I'm going to say the words
fake.
not
Actually,
real.
No. I have it.
Your
We
shoes
are,
are made of lies.
No.
Yeah.
So they're mirrors?
They're
Your
mirrors.
shoes are made
Nodding.
of
Please don't take
lies.
this the wrong way. Telde, please don't take this the wrong way. Gifton, you are natural. Telde is synthetic.
That's
I'm not natural.
pretty accurate, actually.
Because he was put
She's-
into.
Definitely supernatural.
I'm so very. I also. Telde has a soul, so.
Yeah,
we
but
both
his
have
physical
souls.
form.
We
Yeah,
actually, in the future, prefer the term preternatural to supernatural.
We're not in the future.
Does that not describe before being natural?
No, it's actually what is beyond natural.
So, Steven, I have a question for you because this is something we've been thinking about, and I'm sorry to divulge because we should probably have asked RG and Telde what they want to do for fun, but I want to jump topic really quick. So, like, you've been to hell, right?
Yeah, I've been to hell.
Okay.
And
So,
back.
is there any way like hell could be better?
Yeah.
Cause no, like, could hell actually be better? Like, cause you're from the future times, and like, it seems like hell's kind of unfortunate because like it doesn't seem like anybody's doing anything with it, but it's just really bad. And it's like,
I mean,
it
for
doesn't
one,
get better.
There could be hope of getting out, you know?
Yeah, that would definitely be good.
For
How did
two,
you get out?
summoned.
Telling.
Make hell temporary. Freak.
Make out.
I mean,
Well, it'd be nice if there was actually like a way for you to earn your way out.
yeah,
Or a
like
second chance
maybe
or
not being
something.
tortured. That would be cool.
Who tortures you?
Demons, other demons, you know.
Why do
Like,
demons torture each
You,
other?
you know, human souls aren't demons from the get go, right?
No, I thought that like fallen angels were demons, and then I found out that humans could be demons.
So we torture each other because it's just something in us that it's what gives us pleasure there.
Because it's the.
And when you
only
start, it feels wrong,
belief.
but then it becomes almost like an addiction.
Oh, okay.
It's just something about that place that it drives the worst in you.
Okay.
And if it,
We're trying to understand because like Cassie's mom is currently in a demonic state
it's
as
like
well.
you have this overwhelming urge to like pull something apart, and
You just have like this countenance of being like really put together for a demon, and you know I appreciate that.
oh yeah, I'm amazing. Also, relatively young as far as demons go.
Out of character, do the churches pound like the aspect of hell and being bad and sinful?
It is part of the dogma. Different priests
Okay.
will focus on it to different degrees. So, like, for a locality, how much that is part of the dogma can vary.
Yeah.
Because, like, as far as we can,
So there
Yes.
is a traditional sense of hell being hell.
Yeah.
don't
Most of
know,
the
like-
religions have way more of a thing of what's in is than like we do in real life. Though it's like oh, it's not if you wank off, you're gonna go to hell. It is if you
Right,
kill, if you it's got to be the real bad shit.
Oh, it's reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
air quote reasonable as far as eternal damnation can be.
yeah. But I'm just like, I've been trying to like understand hell as like a whole concept because I believe I understand how hell was made, and what I don't understand is why hell grabs every soul that isn't going to a heaven, though.
Is there nowhere else for them to go if they don't go to heaven?
Well,
Besides the underneath place?
I thought like you could be a ghost because that happens. 'Cause, ghosts can happen.
Morgan actually pipes up there. It's ghosts are sometimes souls that would be damned, and sometimes they are souls that would ascend. It is those that flee that do not wish to move on.
Mm-hmm.
But the ghosts in the tavern weren't necessarily bad. They were just
Well, they were
not in their
roused.
they're not in their
And being
right place.
being
They're
in that
attunement.
state for a long time can alter.
Make them go crazy.
Yes.
Right,
It,
when
something, it like
when
corrupts
Cass,
you in a way.
that's what it was explained with Cass when she was wandering the veil or whatever it was.
Yeah, when she ran off and Yamiel went and got her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell has always been a bit of a mystery for us, Morgani says. Although I have ideas on what it could be.
Was it something that the gods didn't create then?
Just an.
As far as we're aware,
uh,
but Morgana actually pauses as if like she's about to let you in on like a big secret.
The deepest secret, yeah.
Speak no word of this to the others, but I cannot help but see similarities between the Feywild and Hell. And I do
Because
not
when
mean this
Loris
as an
died,
offense.
It fell.
Just looking at you, Gifton.
But the Feywild was Loris's heaven, right?
No, that was Lalasil's heaven.
Lalasil's heaven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to keep it straight.
Sorry, I have to have cue cards for this. I'm sorry.
She's going to continue looking at Gifton as she says, and for many eons, I have had suspicions that it is a hint of another being that we have lost.
You don't remember them.
I do not. Spirits actually sucking in through their teeth, which is basically most of their face.
Or we're just here making a sound of air in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
How
Well,
do you
I can
do
tell
that
you
sound
that
with a
you are correct that
skeleton?
it was another god that died, and that is what happened to their heaven.
How are you aware of this? If you tell me that it is my brother Miris, I'm going to be very angry at them.
Could I tell you in fact that it would be Miris and Lalasil? For the reasons I know. Because when I spoke to Lalasil, she talked to me about it.
She puts a hand up on her face as she's like trying to calm herself for a second. And then the mental goes, if it's any consolation, Mother, we also have awareness of that. We remember, Loris. And Morgani just sort of like looks up briefly with that eye roll of like, Lord help me, but there's no higher power for her.
Loris was
always the
with you
dreamer.
when
Actually, there is.
Loris was with you when your children got banished, not Lalasil and Miris.
Do you know why I remember this offense differently?
I
Personal
have
trauma?
expectations that certain beings might have possibly edited the events in various people's minds so that they wouldn't notice the sudden appearance of two new gods after one died.
Of course.
Or it could be kind of like
But
what
that is an
happens.
assumption, because Miris and Lalasil didn't exist until Loris died.
It could also be something similar to what happened when the first were sent out into the wherever
Could
we
The
are.
taking
that
of
as well.
memories.
Yeah, or just the backlash of what happened, causing something.
Could be trauma, Spree says. And they actually get a glare from Morgani at that. What? It could be.
Please start nodding and stop midway as Morgani responded that.
The thing we actually don't know is Spiri actually isn't the spiritual. Spiri is actually the trauma.
But anyway,
Oh, I thought it was spurious.
that would mean that some of the great demons and stuff like that in hell were probably actually angels of Loris. Right?
Yes. Wait, hang on. So this means that Miris and Lalasil were already like what's? She actually looks to you.
I pat my tummy. Yep, just like the little ones inside, except much more sudden.
Sudden.
I hope you raise your children to have better countenance than those ones. Then
Oh, like I'm gonna be able to raise gods.
I
I
mean,
keep telling told that they're gonna come out walking and talking and telling me everything.
And have their names already given to them.
Yeah.
we are
Probably
all.
gonna
Already
wander
the
off and
mother
go
of
make a
one.
continent and a heaven in the first day, and I won't see them.
nah, they'll just
Ouch.
I have my
They'll
doubts
just-
of this.
they'll
Wait.
just kidnap you and take you to their new continent.
Oh,
About
now I'll start a
that,
war with Han
No,
at that point, huh?
okay, new
Very
gods, right, fine. But is land just going to erupt out of the ocean?
Why not?
We'll make your world larger and fix it to a place you won't notice.
It'll be like it was already there. Always.
Do you know that the
Well,
very
that would
first
just be
world was
irrelevant.
like, I'd say at least about 50% smaller.
Oh, that would have been lovely.
Well,
That hurts me mentally. I'm sorry.
Why does everything
Morgani,
have to
who
be so big?
Who actually made the first? Who was the first to make a place of their own?
A land?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as my memories serve me, which I am now led to believe are entirely inaccurate, the first of us to make a land was Orlan.
It fits.
In fact, I distinctly remember him going mine when he did it.
Also fits.
I could see Gramps doing that.
Oh wait, why would they make land? I thought they were like the god of the ocean.
Yeah, wouldn't his people be water people?
He got over it quicker. He did
God
it first.
of the ocean.
as opposed to not have.
Do you realize he took over that domain from Lalasil?
Oh no, I
He
didn't.
was the god.
You know,
of
there's a lot of
storms and
information
war,
about
wasn't
Lalasil we don't actually have, as much as we keep surprising everybody with how much we do have. But yeah, we did not know
So
that.
Lalasil had a lot of nautical relations, part of the whole lighthouse mythology she enjoyed.
Aw,
Hers was more of a relation of calm seas and guidance home. When he took over control of that, well, it became more,
Raging seas and storms.
which is understandable with his nature and his grief for her. I think the entire relation became something he finds troubling.
Were there water people?
Water people, merfolk.
or folk or others
so
that
did
lived
dwarves
in the
really get
water.
made because Talon dropped the mold from humans and had to smush it back together?
She stares at you for a second, Gifton, and then there's a slight upturn of her lips, and she goes, "Yes."
I always thought it was the opposite.
Oh,
That humans were stretched out from dwarves?
Yes, you do look like you have the wrong proportions.
It says you have a horn coming out of your head.
Yes, why don't you?
That was a fine aesthetic that they did. He looks like a unicorn and it's majestic. It's the shoulder things that I don't understand. But it also
I
shields
don't
his
understand
head.
either of those either.
It shields his head from
It's
arrows, though.
good.
But his peripheral vision is destroyed.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to see that way because nothing can hit him.
It's all right. I can already see it.
What?
I have excellent peripheral vision.
But none of the gods have influence over hell, do they?
No.
Okay. Keep wanting to go to hell, but James says I'm not allowed to go to hell.
Perhaps after this, you should make an endeavor to do so.
Yeah, I
is
should
the
go to hell.
Who is the theological lord or master of hell? Is there one?
No, I don't think there is. It's just a bunch of demons.
It's whoever's the strongest at the moment.
Yes, there is no Lord of Hell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a giant gladiatorial
There are
fire pit.
there are demons who are known to be great and rule over vast areas of it, but there's no centralized figure.
That was the thing that I wondered about. Because, I saw Lawlessel earlier, right?
Yes.
And that she's healing things in the weird empty pocket.
Yes.
So
The
if she's
voice.
in there and she's doing that, where's Loris?
Don't even know how to begin to answer that. I didn't even know of.
Well, I mean, you didn't even know it, but you're really smart though, and so I like postulate with me.
Okay.
Help.
So, if we
That's the
are
biggest
to go
word
through the
I've heard
logic,
used in a while.
that
I
most
read it
of
myself.
Lalasil is contained within you, becoming new gods, but some of her went lair.
Mm-hmm.
Either some of Loris is there, or perhaps elsewhere. Because logic dictates that not all of her would be split into Mirrors and Lalasil.
Yeah.
So
That's-
she's either in the void, the space underneath,
Mm-hmm.
or she's part of the greater world, just diluted down, or maybe
Logic
hell
also
somewhere.
dictates that even if part of her is in something like the empty, some of her must be in hell, because the same was done with Lalasil
Right.
and the Feywild.
Yeah, and I know that Lalasil said that she can remember being Loris now that she's in that other place.
So
She
perhaps
could-
there is
she
some
could
remnant of
remember.
Loris there.
Yeah, so I almost wonder if there's something going on with Loris in hell.
Have you ever been to Hell, Morgani?
I have.
Did you feel anything?
Connection.
She shakes her head.
Do you feel anything when you're in another god's heaven, like a connection or something?
A lack of control.
And you don't feel that in hell?
When you say it like that, yes, that's an accurate assessment. I've never. She actually looks annoyed again. I haven't
Is it
thought
also-
about it that way.
Is it like that in the Feywild as well with you?
She
Have
nods.
I think the Feywild is just chaos to her.
The Feywild is not under my control.
Well, I guess.
Feywild's not under the Feywild's control.
Point.
I don't think the Feywild wants to be under its
The
own control.
Feywild is freedom.
She actually gives a sad smile when you say that. Fitting, considering the rebellious end.
Is
Yeah.
that the difference? Is the Feywild supposed to is freedom? Hell is lack of.
I could not even begin to say. I know what Ladasil's intentions, or at least I believe I do, were when she passed.
But we don't know what Loris's was.
Mhm.
Has there ever been?
All I know is that you can see my brother's influence, Ellen's influence on the Feywild when he tried to stop the fall.
Yes.
he imparted some of himself onto it. Maybe there was no impartation onto hell, and thus that is the primal state it would take.
Has
Kind
there
of
ever
sad that nobody tried to catch Loris.
nobody knew it? I mean,
She
possibly nobody knew
actually, she
it
looks a little more annoyed then and goes, as he said, if we didn't have no memory of it, perhaps we did not even know it happened to begin with.
Yeah.
Has there ever been one of the devils in hell that have tried to unite the whole thing?
Oh, many a time.
How close have they gotten?
Oh, a few times they have managed to breach out onto the mortal plane, leading vast armies and leading an entire war against the heavens. So, they have gotten there quite a multitude of times.
Is it the same devils every time?
Not every time.
I'm sorry we're bringing up not great conversations. It's just a long trip.
It
That's
is a
all
long
I'm thinking
trip,
about.
and there is
And I
a
wanna
minor
apologize.
relief in being able to express some of these things.
I want to apologize because I think we got off on a bad foot when we first came through.
I was
Um,
exceptionally rude to you.
So were we in a way.
Yes,
I mean,
exceptionally rude to me as well.
yeah, and I
Yep.
think that
RG.
Throwing a
And-
crocheting pin at RG.
He's catching it.
even with those of us that were trying our best, I do think that there wasn't enough benefit to the fact that you're a person and you have thoughts and feelings, and that you were basically being told that you were not a great person when you had done nothing wrong and had no intention of doing anything wrong, and you were just being a good person. And
I, as a
Yeah.
grand goddess of intellect, should be able to handle critique, even ill, rudely delivered, a little better than I did. And I will work to improve that. And you can actually see one of her hands clenched when she says that. And at the same time, your impressions of me were coloured by your knowledge of
You.
Then
us,
And then-
even the defined sphere, all of that we have done, all of our flaws, and mine especially, just as my vision of some of you in particular was coloured by my perceptions of wrongdoings of race and alliance, and I did not deign to view you as individuals, your own thoughts and feelings. So,
and I think,
we were all in error.
yep, I just wanted to make sure to air that because,
It is good to acknowledge that it was not just me.
it definitely
And
was not
there
just
is like
you.
a maybe humorful rumbling laugh that comes from her briefly, but it's a little disconcerting.
I've been told I've never had good bedside manner.
Also,
Bedside from that.
I could never blame anybody for feeling a bit affronted if a fae came up to them and said you're crazy, because pot kettle black, right?
It would be a very good part of a story.
It would make a great story.
I must say, though, your existences have proven to be an incredibly destabilizing whirlwind in the lifespans of beings that have existed for eons.
That seems
We
to
do
be.
everything on the spur of the moment.
Yes.
And we do seem to disrupt quite a bit of stuff as we go through them, even back in our own time.
It is a good disruption, though. Disruption leads to discovery.
Why did it? Oh my gosh.
Is this in character or out of character, by the
No,
way?
this
that
is
you're-
in character. For some reason, I just remember sneaking around a dwarven stonesmiths because we thought we were going to be so investigatory agents of good.
Remember when you and I broke into that mansion
Oh, yes.
the Landor mansion,
The
and then
Landors.
you got the living crap shot out of you by a fireball.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I jumped out the window and then ran through the streets.
She smiles a bit and goes, "You know, it is a very common thing across the multitude of worlds that have happened. So many stories of great heroes that changed the world begin with mundane, even
Divinity.
embarrassing escapades."
I got
Do you want to
trapped in
hear
the
the
kitchen
story
like
of
that.
scaring off the bear?
Oh, gosh.
Certainly.
So it was early on after we left Tarnstead. We were not in the shape to fight a bear. Between an item that our poor departed Thaldir had, myself using an illusion of my grandmother in a smaller scale, and Gifton, out of character player, can't remember what Gifton does, but I remember you doing
It
something
was
too.
thaumaturgy, I think.
Thaumaturgy,
Yeah.
sound. We were able to make us.
It wasn't thaumaturgy sound.
Yes.
I was making skunk smell with druid crack.
That's what it was.
That's
Skunk
right.
smell. Yeah, you both were actually.
Yeah.
They were used skunk smell, and we used the illusion of the dragon to scare the bear off, even though there was no sound to dragon, and it didn't actually walk on the ground and wasn't that close either.
And to be fair, it's a bear.
Yeah, but you'd figure the bear would smell not dragon.
And smell skunk instead.
Don't know if bears are scared of skunks.
Probably not.
How many
Most
dragons do you
things are
figure that
scared of
bear's-
skunks.
How many dragons do you figure that bear's seen?
It's
Well,
weird
yeah,
when you're gone.
Good point. I mean, when he did that, I mean, I had a adverse reaction to the same thing.
I just saying that, like, it probably didn't know what a dragon smells like. Anyways, Ron knows that's what dragons smell like.
Yeah.
And there's a pause, and Arjun goes, "No offense."
It's just four of us. sitting here looking
The
at
mentor
him.
actually sort of raises her hand up and goes, "Actually, you'll find a lot of species have a primal fear of many things related to our children. It's passed on without you even knowing it in your blood, in your magic, in
That
many things."
That bear is now gone around with this unbridled fear every time it smells a skunk.
It might not now.
Yes, that
And
has
it's
not
gonna be
happened
changed.
yet, has it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And who knows what'll change.
I'm gonna miss you guys.
I'm curious to see if there will be some facsimile of you in their time. Morganichi says.
Maybe the universe corrects and makes something new.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Surely there will still be your predecessors that live in that location, leading into a family much like your own.
I mean, maybe if that still happens. Gifted face to face. I don't really like how my species came about.
I mean, it does sound like that got fixed already, didn't it?
out of character because players sometimes dumb, and I know we've had this discussion.
Mhm.
So the whole brownie thing has not happened at the point we.
Yeah, that's not happened yet, and
No.
she did indeed talk with Oron and Titania.
And
About
beg
not
them
doing
not
it.
to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is like, isn't that basically going
But
to be
that
right away,
doesn't-
giveaway?
That doesn't mean there won't be something else that causes a
Yeah.
mortal fate to exist.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
But,
It could be a mortal red cap.
Please,
What
no.
a horrifying thought.
I know.
Could just
We-
be the
we've
same
dealt
way
with
that
one
we
of
ended
them.
up with centaurs.
No, he never did say to not do that.
Well, it wasn't Oberon or Titania that created us, so.
But they'll admit to.
No, they actually told me who did.
Was it Morris?
What Carrick is
Yeah.
saying is.
Oh, it
is
wasn't Morris.
Sometimes they lie.
Yes.
quite a lot. That
Especially when
It's
they go to
fine.
bed.
It's fine. We do.
They didn't cause it directly. They just made a horse and a person love each
All
other
puff.
very much.
Or they just stuck two of them together and said, "There."
Well, you see, you do make glue from
it was
horse,
it was the
so-
magic fae Pierce Anthony,
Oh no.
and their
Oh,
magic
no.
pond.
Ah.
Good night,
The tarot-
everybody.
After that comment, Carrick is putting the tarot deck away because we don't want that to happen now, too.
Let's not give ourselves any more random ideas.
I mean, it's some of the best work we do.
So
Yeah.
Talde, what do you do for fun?
This.
Listen to people?
Yes.
That's nice. RG, what about you?
Take care of plants, jog around the city now that I'm not pregnant anymore, and make interesting smelling and tasting alcohol.
Plants.
Yeah.
Do you think you flavor the alcohol?
Well, yeah.
No, it's just
I-
just
my
an
wife
unrelated.
runs the
She
cellar.
opened an herbalism shop
Yeah.
in Beacon.
You've been there, Corvus.
You picked up herbs there, Corvus.
Your brains are all over your body, right, mate?
Did you
What?
get a bump?
Your brains all
someplace
over your body, right, mate? Every time you whack your
Shut
shin
up.
or something, does it like
Just go walk about.
Sorry, I just
Oh.
didn't connect it.
Oh, so you're saying that if he's wounded, he can blame that on absent-mindedness?
Corvus, do you know where we're going?
No, actually, I don't. We're just floating in a space vessel in space.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know if are we really floating?
I didn't try to figure out
mean-
how this thing moved.
I'm sitting on the ground.
Yes, we're sitting. How up? What?
you don't actually have the concept of floating in space yet, so
Yeah, or there's the no floating pit.
Where did genies come from?
Jin.
Jin?
They are actually magical energies of the world mixing with nature spirits and such and coalescing into a sentient creature. It happens sometimes.
Where do nature spirits come from? Because they're
Didn't
like
I
all over
have
the
a
place.
gin in a bottle?
Yes, you do, and you need to let it go. I keep telling you, you need to let
Not
it
now.
Yes, please, maybe not where we are.
go.
Shrug.
Nature spirits is a little harder
I
to
thought that in
answer.
Zaha. Oh my god.
I've been telling you since Present Zaha to let that thing go.
There is something a little funny about someone saying, "Oh my God's" right in front of a god.
Right?
Yes?
No, as an expression.
You shouldn't blaspheme.
I say it right, lords and ladies.
Come on,
You do that, and Oberon's probably going to come up and smack him.
Oberon does not deign to come all the way up here. His ladder doesn't reach that high.
There are also other lords and ladies.
It's Oberon. I'm pretty sure Oberon has multiple ladders.
I mean, if he can make it all the way here, I'd be very, very sad that we couldn't,
Oh,
use
we
a
should
ladder.
have-
We should have packed a tree. If we could have packed a tree, I could do tree magic.
It sounds concerning this far away.
No trees in the Vardo.
Why not?
Why didn't we have a tree
Oh,
in the
no.
bottle?
We
Because
never
at the time
did
we
have a
used the-
tree.
Because at the time we used the Vardo,
Was
I'm
that
pretty sure she didn't have tree
Fergati?
magic.
Nature spirits didn't exist in the first few incarnations of the world.
What do you think
And there
they
has
do?
been a
They're-
marked multitude of their activity, their presence, since Lalasil perished.
Oh, maybe that's more Loris and Lolasil?
Perhaps
More
The
signs?
angels?
nature
No,
spirits.
Those nature spirits. Because
No, I mean.
I remember
the
Scrim had the
angels-
nature spirits lead him around
Right.
grass.
Maybe it's the mixture of Lalisil and Helen.
No,
Is it
they were
two?
around before then, just in lesser number. I think it might just be some other remnant of us when we perish, perhaps. A part of this world.
Some very primal part of you that kind of stays around.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting.
What we're
Did
discovering is we do not
anything-
just, and she sort of like, actually air quotes, split into two.
Mhm.
We,
I mean, even the energy would have to go because it wouldn't be a clean break. There'd be energy going
Fragments.
everywhere, right? Yeah.
I know this is maybe a
I'm sorry, we're talking
Of-
about the size of dead gods, and that's probably very off-putting. I'm sorry.
off-putting but fascinating.
this may be a stretch because given the reality of the dreamer and everything.
Yes, all of our
But-
circumstances are a stretch, so please.
Did anything just spontaneously manifest?
Us.
Well,
Maybe you just don't remember it.
There's also that. If there is some form of altered existence and we're not aware of it, then how could we tell you?
Did you have to make your heaven, or did it appear when you appeared? For all you know,
We didn't really make our heavens. They are just an extension of self. It was natural for us to gather our followers into a place. It was always there.
But it's not like that for Hea, right?
No, she made a place.
maybe it's the difference between.
But we figured it was different for her. She came into being as a thinks of our acts rather than just existing in a world one day.
Kind of makes sense. I like to think because, like, as a brownie coming from Tarnstead, we only had the one church that we could sometimes kind of sneak into, which is the Mairie Church. Very nice, great little shrine that they had. Didn't understand most of the conversations, but we tried. So it's just been kind of an interesting road, just like trying to learn about the gods, because the Fey Lords and the Fey Ladies are kind of also kind of this weird distant things with us brownies too. So
well, you
You're-
consider them your deific
Deific.
I mean,
beings.
they are the most important people to a brownie. I mean, we
Well,
spend our whole
to Fae.
lives hoping someday that Oberon will forgive us and we can come home. That's everything.
Or even to the Fae that live in the Feywild. They are
I mean,
revered.
he is, of course, he's king, but you know,
May I ask you a
Same.
question?
Yeah.
Does it trouble you that that's not going to happen, even if it doesn't need to now?
that will never be forgiven.
That you'll never be brought home? Yeah, in this rewriting that you are endeavouring to do, you will always have a home, I'm assuming, always be welcome there, but that act, it happened to you in your personal history.
It never needed to happen. But it also means that all the sad things didn't need to happen either. Because we were good people and we did good things for people because we thought that would make us worth knowing. But I don't need to be worth knowing. It could just be me, and that's okay. Derek said I am enough, right?
Absolutely.
You're quite more than enough.
But it always hurt. And I know that, like, some of us vilified Oberon because of what he did to us. But even in that, you still wanted his approval. You still wanted to be good enough to be saved. And I kind of get that. I always understood that with the people going to, like, the Amorian church and the Talon church in Dolvewood. Those are people that they want to be saved by the gods. So I understand religion a bit. I kind of tilt my head and look over at Speary.
Spree sort of like waves the hand and goes, yes, I mean, for those that put more fear into the faith aspects, it actually sounds like a close parallel. The religions that focus on, the damnation and so on, you better please the gods, otherwise you will suffer. It's not too far from that.
But now I know that, like, I don't think of the gods like that. I don't think of them as this force out there that I have to please and adhere to. They're just people trying to figure things out like everybody else. I think the gods are trying to save people, but they're also trying to save themselves. And it feels like it's an awful lot being put on them to try and take care of all these people. But I don't know how you could handle somebody looking at you like that. It's really awkward between me and Oberon right now because
A glimpse behind the curtain. We are selfish beings by our very nature. We do prioritize ourselves. I don't think that will ever truly change. But just because you prioritize yourself does not mean you cannot. We still must make accommodations. We must realize that allowing.
selfish, and it's not fair to say you're not allowed to be even a smidge selfish because that's just not fair.
You can be selfish and deny your selfish nature for the benefit of others.
Mm-hmm.
And
better.
yes, there is some unpleasantness to having countless prayers that you cannot reply to all of the time put upon you. But we do have a responsibility.
And also, people don't understand, why not me? Why wasn't I saved? Why not my family? And
Do you all ever wonder that? Why we allow people to suffer?
honestly,
Or do you understand?
I figure you can't save everybody.
We can. It's within our power.
No, but if you do, it takes away the point, right? It takes away agency. It takes away the experience of life.
There have been multiple rebellions against us in past worlds. One was caused by us never allowing people to suffer. Never allowing them to be ill, never allowing them to be sad because of the circumstances around them. What happens when somebody goes, I don't want to die, and you allow that? Or somebody goes, this other person dying would shatter me. You end up with a world out of control, and an apathy and a growing anger at circumstances they don't even understand that they are angry at. So that doesn't work. If you pick and choose who to save, then there is an unfairness there as well. Our interferences have to be so carefully restricted and controlled. So either we are removing free will, or we are imposing something horrendous that people don't even realize is horrendous. And it is an impossible conundrum. And I think perhaps we still interfere too much. But how can we not? I tell myself I won't interfere again, and then I watch learning stagnate. And I have to.
So, how did the angels come about? like this is like
Zipping away
interesting
from
question
depressing
time.
topic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We realized that we were stretching ourselves thin, trying to be everywhere at once. We are quite capable of splitting ourselves into multitudes, but it is a draining endeavor. So we decided it would be better to have children to help us, and at that time we hadn't even conceived of creating the mortal races. I hope you realize we were still fascinated with existence, of lands, of just everything.
Look at this. This is new.
And sometimes we didn't want to split ourselves and we wanted to go do something, and one of our siblings wanted to go do something else, and we were still lonely. So they were a mix of company, workload lifting, and all manner of things. We only created a handful in the early days, But that was the beginning of it.
I'm sorry, I'm asking you a lot of questions.
It's quite fine.
I have a question about the angels then.
Please.
Why did you name them all with IEL at the end?
She crosses her arms briefly and goes, are you prepared for such a hidden, secret, deep knowledge? Might shatter your worldview.
You like the sound of it, right?
Oh, it sounds interesting enough. Still working on her thing.
The gods just aren't that creative.
Lala
after all.
Sil bet that we couldn't keep the convention up. We weren't particularly creative in the first days, and all of them had the ELs. It was a word that we used that meant process would be cherished. Their names were shows of our love for them. It is like referring to them as my baby. And after a while, we kept this up, and Lalasil once said, these names are getting awfully samey. I bet you one of us is going to have to change that at some point. Although now I wonder if it was her. Perhaps it was Loris.
Who was the first one who stopped? Who did a different
my Eerie.
end? Is that Abaddon? That's the
No, that's
one
him.
I know.
That's
of.
That's one of Imor's. Oh, what was it? She's been gone a long time.
Bob the Angel.
Bob the Angel.
Dormin. It was Dormin.
I'm sorry. My brain immediately went to
Doorman.
Doorman.
That's what I went to.
Yes, Dormin.
Good old Hodor.
He's the one who used to let them into heaven.
Dorman.
You know, before we came up here with you, we had hijinks. Mind if I tell that story, Cassie?
Which hijinks? There's been many.
Jailbreak.
Which jailbreak?
You know which jailbreak.
The
The
recent
one that
jailbreak?
just happened, I assume.
Yes, I said right before we came up here.
If you want to tell that.
Cassie was trying to get Orland's attention so she could go see her mother, Michael, who was being held in Orland's heaven to protect her from the time monsters. That's what I'm going to call those people because it makes me feel separated from them as people.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but sometimes I
If
need a
we can
little
carry a
distance, and I
grudge.
Yeah, that's fun.
no. Sometimes I need a little distance because they hurt my feelings. Okay. I still probably wouldn't hurt them anyway. So Cassie went to go do that, and there was a cherub that showed up made of lightning.
That wasn't the cherub then.
Yep. Not educated in the ways of angels and cherubs. The cherub tried to convince Cassie, I believe, to walk off a cliff with Telday.
Yep.
And then eventually an angel came down to help, or a believed angel came down to help, and then took Cassie up into Orland's heaven to jailbreak Mom out instead of just visit. Because Cassie kept saying something about jailbreak over the radio, and I bet you the angel picked up on it. And that was apparently about the time that all of the Watcher angels outside of Furamir got spirited away suddenly. So nobody was out there. Anyway, Cassie was up there, and the person apparently was pretending to be Abaddon, one of Imor's angels, but wasn't actually Abaddon. So we don't know who they were. But they helped Cassie break Michael out.
Halfway around?
Cassie
We-
helped them.
We don't have a name.
Yeah, we honestly don't have a name.
I didn't say they had a name. I said they were pretending to be Abaddon. Because Raziel went and checked, and Abaddon was at their post. And had been at their post.
So you're telling me that my full brother couldn't keep his heaven locked down securely?
Could not, yeah.
Yes, this seems typical.
I'm actually wondering, though, because the person that did that told Cassie that not all of them have forgotten and they don't forgive. Or they don't all forgive?
Something like that.
Yeah.
The spiritual actually pipes up with, well, isn't it kind of natural that with all that's going around, all these revelations, they're hearing of it, right?
Uh-huh.
There's going to be some discontent.
Well, yeah, I think sure there would be. Because, I mean, a lot of the angels are probably feeling really bad about having their memories wiped over and over and over and over again. And, the prospect of punishment with no chance of redemption is probably, not great.
I hope that you don't view the wiping in an entirely negative light.
I'm assuming it was done as an intended kindness to keep them from having to remember what they did, because we watched them do that in one of
It's
our
not just
experiences.
that. There is a limit to how long that they can go for mentally. In fact, I'm surprised that your Raziel is as sound as he is.
What do you mean?
There is a long time between the worlds. We are capable of maintaining ourselves, our sanity ourselves through that, but it is rougher on them.
He's fine.
He does seem to be fine. I am just saying that the wiping of their minds is a kindness.
I wonder if that was part of the
I
tower.
think Gifton, it's from when the world gets made anew, a cycle, and the angels have to go through a whole cycle again. It's a lot for them to endure because they're going to have to see very similar things happen.
It's not just that, it is the sheer length of existence.
I assume that's par and parcel.
I mean, on our scale, I can't think of its name suddenly.
Time?
No, our out of character, the vampire guy.
Our count?
Hard count.
Only
Yes.
lived for thousands and thousands of years.
But it was hard count lived for thousands upon thousands of years. But even that time, which is probably infinitesimal to the angels, was incredibly hard on him.
Pushing over at Telday.
10,000 years over
10,000
here.
years.
How does that feel
And
to
a
you,
factory
Telde?
reset.
Sorry, I didn't hear our DM.
Yeah.
Just
the talk turn.
how does it feel to you, Telde?
Day by day, there were times where it was more difficult.
How would you feel about another stretch like that?
I am unsure about my future.
Two
I'm
more?
focused on the present.
Could you survive another 10,000? Mentally.
I am unsure about my future. I am focused on the present.
A good coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Nod.
Yes. So in the early days, as unpleasant as this might sound, you have to realize that not every angel would suffer with the knowledge of what they were doing. Some are hardy, some have unpleasant
They're all
personalities.
Or that.
We all had angels that we knew would be able to handle the cycles, or so we thought, the knowledge of what they had done. And so we kept our trusted, our knowledgeable ones without wipes. We tried that at first, and even they started to break. They would lose track of where they were, what was happening. They would break down mentally, and some would be crushed under the mounting sins that they perceived, and some would just be crushed by the time itself.
Well, I was just thinking on that very depressing subject. The demons of hell have never been wiped, have they?
We tend
Yeah.
to cast out a similar thing over the world as we wipe it, just as a precaution, but I suppose it might not affect them fully.
Them?
Do you really want to ask these questions?
I don't want to know. I'm just thinking that, like, thinking about.
It would create a very bad problem if Hell kept on their
Correct.
numbers and never got corrected.
Well, I was just thinking, like,
They cannot
that-
die fully, I hope you realize.
What you talked about a war of them rising out and going to the mortal plane and having assault on you. Was that when the numbers were particularly high?
So let me break down the mechanics of hell for you. Demons is essentially the word we use for a hellish being, like our dear fellow. And Stephen is looking very, very awkward at this conversation.
He's just
Sorry.
like, I'm piloting,
Sorry, Steven.
I'm piloting.
However, you must understand that there are essentially two kinds of being there. There are the demons that have always been, since the first incarnations of hell that we can recall.
Mhm.
And then there are the mortal souls that fall and become corrupted.
And then there's occasionally a fallen angel in there.
And those. The angelic beings, the demons that have always been there, they remain. Every time. The rest are burned up as the cycle renews.
So you do reset.
We don't reset them, we destroy
You purge.
those.
Yeah, purge.
But that doesn't guarantee anything with the ones that have always been there.
No, we saw little need to try and reset them, nor can we influence them, so we figured we would leave them to their madness.
And a growing hatred every time.
It has its limits, believe it or not. When something wants you gone entirely from your world and everything that you love and care for destroyed, mutilated, burned, and all manner of horrific terms, there's very little more that hatred can actually increase.
I was just thinking about it because of what that angel said. That, like,
Oh, you're postulating that perhaps it is one of them.
I was thinking maybe. I mean,
Sure.
I don't.
It's not
I
without
don't
merit.
Know. I don't.
It would
know if
also explain why it deigned to free another
it-
demon.
Michael. Yeah, to free Michael.
However,
and
how it gained access to heaven.
There's back doors. So I could believe that.
How much of a pause did Margani give to that?
I'm pretty sure it's still going.
Processing.
She's just looking at you, Gifton, and she goes, "We'll have to have a little talk about that when we return."
No, I don't want to have a talk about that.
I'm afraid you don't have much choice. I'm going to have your ear, and you're going to have
No.
mine.
She grabs her ear.
Quick, Gifted. Just say that it's a secret. She has to respect that.
Listen, we were supposed to break into the heavens and make sure to do all the things to make sure everybody was safe.
Mirrors, right? I see.
Yeah.
Did you say the angels were also burned up with the reset?
No, they remain.
Is there?
I would
some
guess that
down
there
there-
was, from many prior resets, and this one included, yes.
Is there? If we could find one from previous reset to see if their memories were wiped or not, it would at least tell us if the casting worked down there.
You could. I know that there is this fascination with going down there, and I think you probably will at some point, but I will caution you, the same rules as the Feywild that apply to our angels, to us, are in effect down there.
Mhm.
You can be harmed, and there's very little we can do to help you.
Yes. I don't know if I personally would like to go down there, but if I have to follow the others, I will.
I would advise
whatever
against
this
it.
Angel demon masquerading person is doing, they're doing something.
I'm going to tell you a very valuable secret, one that not many mortals understand. Can leave a burden to somebody else.
Okay.
I tell you what, going forward, I'll create some little mythology, some little hinting secret about discovering the secrets of hell and the angels found within, and I'm sure it will drive many a brave and bold adventurer to try and figure it out, and I'm sure eventually somebody will.
Part of me wants to look at Gift and go, which of your children is going to do that?
Oh, don't do that in front of my kids.
No promises.
Kids is doing it.
But I am going to say this as well. You all should take a rest after this is all said and done. You have done vast amounts, faster than any mortal has before, for this world and for us. You deserve a rest.
Is it gonna be okay?
I just had kids. This is my rest.
I plan on resting once this is taken care of, at least.
I think things will be okay.
Okay, because I just want it to be okay for them when they get home.
I'm sure it will be. Hate to interrupt a weirdly tender moment, but getting some real fucky readings.
Uh-oh.
And the
Please
warp
explain further.
bubble is taking a lot more energy to stay up than it should.
I'm gonna move over to the co-pilot seat because I have a feeling this is a hint that I might be needed soon.
Yeah.
Do you see anything nearby?
The sensors don't know what they're seeing. Like, I'm getting errors.
Try explaining.
Well, short story is, if we don't drop out of warp within the next couple of minutes, I think the ship will explode.
So let's not do that.
Echo,
No, let's do that. Let's drop out. I want us to drop out.
No, I think
I
you
did
not do the
Let
explode
explode.
The exploding pot.
Wait, I'm going.
Could have phrased that better.
Okay. Do I put my helmet on?
Yeah, put your
Yes,
helmet on.
put your
so you-
helmets
Hey,
on.
Dingus, put your little helmet on, okay?
Mimi?
I'm gonna put your little helmet on.
He holds his head up to like allow this little helmet.
Yeah.
The moment it's on, you see his tongue like flicking at the inside of it.
Bleh, bleh, bleh.
Well, you see, to make sure he'd put it out, he put peanut butter inside.
Oh,
Okay, then
gosh.
Dingus, you're gonna protect Echo, okay?
Mhm.
Don't let anything bad happen to Echo, okay?
Mhm.
Yeah, if anything gets super scary, Mommy's gonna come hide behind you, okay?
He bobs his head.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Dropping us out in. Everybody sit down.
I'm putting
Hey,
my helmet
the car
on.
rev was a good one.
There are no chairs big enough for me.
Lay down.
Just sit.
Spread yourself out, Cassie.
Lying down.
I don't think Cassie's gotten up at any point in time.
No,
No,
just
she
been-
hasn't. But she's packing away everything again.
Okay.
Do we
Hey,
just have like a
Are you
seatbelt
okay?
that comes out of the wall?
Spirit just
that-
gives a thumbs up.
Okay.
This has like a shipping strap. We put it in
Yeah,
the back.
shipping strap.
The three ancient beings look immensely calm for what's going on.
They're just sitting cross-legged, waiting.
Just double checking her helmet. Have I got it on the right way?
One of them is a skeleton. I don't think there's
RG's
other
just gonna reach
praise.
over and turn it slightly, and then push down up there.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
And he has her own on.
There is a rumble from the ship as the warp field is disengaged, and that shimmering set of colours in front of the ship suddenly fizzles out of existence, and you see the fabric of your reality. You are drifting through a void of blackness, and every now and then you see drifting off in the distance, some going like past the ship, some ahead. These almost holes in this black fabric. You can see it flickering as if like the very edges of this fabric are unraveled a bit, fraying. And you
like
can see,
a thin polyester blend.
yeah, basically. And you can see light shining through them. What you would think of as stars. These dots in space that you look up on every night, now moving around you as the ship tries to navigate.
Stars were the holes in
RG
our
said just to look at the
reality.
hole and then immediately turn look where is that how it's supposed to be?
It's
Is
the
that how
blanket that Oberon puts up every night.
It's not the blanket that Oberon puts up every night. And no, this is not where I come from. This isn't how it is. All right, this is.
Okay, this is
No,
Steven.
but the blanket has holes in it. Let's
Yeah, that's Steven.
Okay.
And Morgani just nods.
holes in it.
This is how it is.
We need to
I
pass
was
through
easy
the
with that up until
hole.
the exact point he started talking and pointing over at Stephen.
Um, listen. I've got coordinates. I don't know what our next steps are, and Morgani's actually going to stand up and like head towards the front of the ship now.
The center of gravity of the ship shifts.
We are to keep moving. Is your ship capable of propelling us there, or must I get out and push? It's capable. It's just confused. I'm doing this by eye now.
Push.
No, you're not getting out to push. Space doesn't work like. Well, maybe this space does. I don't know.
Not helping.
I'm good at sewing. I could fix the holes.
Is it possible that belief
Don't
is
think I
playing
brought
an
it
issue
I will
here?
fix it. I will bind it. I will fix it with glue.
I doubt Faith has any play here.
Huh?
I don't understand the boy's confusion. I don't understand what his celestial sphere is like. But just keep
Evidently
going that way. And she's just pointing out. I got it. Right. I'm just flying by eye. Navigational sensors are throwing a conniption fit, so this is a grand turn of offense. Those
How about you
pre-plotted
just
courses maybe not gonna work anymore, so
How about you just charge them off then?
I'm
How
pretty sure.
far
they
you know
Are
what?
we?
That's a fucking fantastic idea. And he's just like turning off a couple of the screens. I don't know. Again, navigational sensors not working, so
Oh.
We have no charts. We have no maps.
we're not far.
And Cass is giving a side eye to Morgani. There be dragons here.
Yes,
There's always dragons.
that's why we're here.
Yeah.
We've gone off the map.
See, this right here, Steven, this is my magic hat. It was given to me by Oberon. And if you
Trying
really
to
hard-
concentrate and not hit a rip in reality. I don't know what is.
I think you have to go through the rip.
It's a very nice hat.
Okay, but if you concentrate on something that you really love, it makes a star appear.
And I would not suggest going through any of these rips.
Why? What's through there?
The unravelment of us, if we do that.
As I would take a guess of not much.
Huh.
I was able to project and pull with my power beyond, but the times I have tried to send things through these, it has not been good.
Echo, do you want to see a neat thing?
We need to pass through the barrier with
Uh-huh.
not going through it.
Or take Digus and Echo just up enough so they can see really quick and then
Yeah.
and
Oh.
back out.
You know,
can see how cool that is.
That's not how it's supposed to be.
does Morgani still have the ocular?
She does.
She hand it back. Okay.
Question: Does the rip, like, I know there's a multitude of them.
Mhm.
Are they reminiscent to what we see in the empty?
No.
No. Okay.
You suddenly thought you'd been cutting holes in the world, and this is where it finally showed up. We were gonna blame you. Corvus goes to cut a hole into the empty, sees a hole rip into reality nearby.
Huh.
Whoops.
Oh.
Well, the gentlemen have been busy.
I wonder if it looks different through the
Do you
ocular.
think one of these is where the dreamer threw the rock through?
It's entirely possible.
Okay, so stay away from the floating balls of holes of light within reality and keep going forward.
That is a very unique description there.
Kind
Well, that's what they kind of are.
The holes of balls.
Well, they're ball-like. I mean, they're not.
Yeah, like,
It's a
wrap your
rift.
heads around this. So we're looking through holes, but, like, you see, we're going past that. The view is shifting.
Yeah,
Like, the
we're
hole
going
is...
past a hole, but there's a hole in front of us as well.
But, like, no, look at that one. Like, the hole, like, it's turning with us. That don't make a lick of sense.
It's because it's watching us.
That doesn't make a lick of sense. Actually, that makes a creepy degree of sense. I don't like that, so...
Yeah, all the holes are
is-
looking at us.
This is the.
You just made this so much worse.
No, but see, the holes are looking at us.
Stop saying that.
Tim, it doesn't make it any less weird if you repeat it.
But the holes are looking at us.
No. If you repeat it enough, it becomes quite mundane.
They can't
That's
see me
not how
because
that
we're inside the ship, but I wave. Hi, holes.
It's
That sounds a little rude.
What? The high holes?
Can we count how many holes there are?
Oh,
Or is this like a uncountable,
so-
like a massive number?
yeah. Like, do you want to count all the stars in the sky?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
okay. So it's not that there's like
A dozen.
6 big holes
No.
and that's what we're seeing through. Okay.
No. However, you are heading for 6 particular holes. That's an awful sentence. And soon you'll start like there's some variance in the colors of these things. Like some are slightly more tinged blue, some orange, so on and so forth. You know. But purple is a different color to see. And as you begin to approach, you see a dotted scape of well, you see 5 purple dots, and then you see like a vague purple haze, almost a distortion, a circle of purple.
A nebula.
No, more like a accretion disk.
Oh.
Um,
That's not good.
I don't know what an accretion disk is.
It's that bit around a black hole that you can see.
It's the warping of light around black holes. Yeah.
That's pretty.
Oh, yeah, if the navigation sensors are still on, I think they'd be panicking about that right there. Right. I'm guessing this is what we're heading for, and Morgana just nods and get us close. I don't think we should be going close to the black hole there.
I don't think it's actually a black hole.
I'm not familiar with this term, but it is perfectly safe, I assure you. Its pull does not have much power here. Comforting. Okay. Alright, closer we go. Alright. And the ship pulls closer. And yeah, eventually you come to an arrangement of these holes, and they are far closer together than most of the others here. And they are arranged. There is 4 of them are arranged in what looks like their corners. So 2 at above, 2 below. Then there's 1 off to the side, and another off to the other side. One with the strange disc. And yeah, very, very, very vaguely, with some people that were bored and just drawing random shapes in the sky, you could say that that's an eye. And
Kristen's gonna tilt her head. This is the Eye of Morgani.
yes, in a way.
I mean, the constellation, right?
It is.
Oh, that makes sense why everything started when the Eye of Morgani disappeared from the sky.
But still visible to those followed.
Yeah. They're like, nope, it's still there.
So, we're here.
I guess we're going out?
Face the back of the ship towards them, if you'd please. We'll lower the ramp, get this oxygen bubble erected, send our platform, and then we release them, yes? That's the plan, Mother. Spree sort of like, does a little kick of the fingers, points.
I take it we know how to release them. I never thought to ask.
I'm betting they do.
Raz has got that all figured out.
The tablets will be broken, and I will make it easier for them as well. These runes, and you can see the purple glow is in fact arcane runes, seemingly rotating in the air around each of these spots, suffusing them with energy. Except for that one that is very hard to make out.
Are they runes that, like, obviously I couldn't tell you what they exactly mean, but are they
They
standard magical
are
runes,
definitely not
or
standard magical runes.
They are super magic.
could I make a roll to see if I have, or is this out of league type thing?
I can let you have a roll to make your best guess.
Okay.
Yeah, based on, like, you rack your brain trying to think of what these are, all you can suppose is this is something very personal to Morgani herself.
Okay.
I think that was never given out.
Okay.
Her
They're
pin
secret
name.
runes. No, they're her pin
Okay,
number.
Echo and Dinkus,
Pin
we're gonna
number.
go out on the ramp here in a minute onto the oxygen-y thing. Corvus, do you want Echo to come with, or do you want to stay here in here? How do you want to do this?
It's.
I'd like to
her
come
choice
with.
of that.
You gonna stand by Corvus? Okay.
Me.
All right, yeah, you're coming with me. But if anything happens, you're gonna get her to safety as fast as you can. Then we'll join you. Okay.
Echo and Mummy, yes.
Echo and Mummy, yes.
Corvus looks at Echo. You okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay. Keller hits a few buttons. Like, okay, I'm deploying our weird floaty platform ramp thing. Okay, show directed.
You look so cute in your little space.
Can one of you mages channel some energy into the room by the door, please?
Eric will.
Yep.
Oh.
You do it.
Okay. You said it was a cantrip, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. So basically, you just
channel mage hand into it.
okay. All right. You feel the energy being drawn from that, and he sort of nods with you and goes, "Okay. We have atmosphere outside. Give it a couple of seconds to actually stabilize. Okay. You're good to open up the ramp into the weird hole void.
Stay safe, Steven.
Yeah. Yeah, safe.
Try not to think about the event.
Oh, great. Thank you. Opening ramp, and the back door begins to open, and the ramp slides down to touch upon the arcane flooring that has been erected out here, which is itself just this, like, blue, opaque energy. Just this disc surrounding the ship.
Gibson's gonna hop out onto it.
It makes a very sort of weird noise when you land on it.
Gonna hop up and down on it. It's great.
I'm just going to take a step onto it.
Yeah,
Eric will step out.
it feels solid at the very least.
Corvus will join with Echo.
Ass is being very fussy coming out.
It's very gingerly stepping.
Yeah, she's doing that horse that has been stuck inside for months.
Uh-huh.
It's been stupid. It's like, it's the outside. No.
Right.
As
As
going to step out, it's like
The blanket's so pretty out here.
as you all exit, the Morgani, the mental and spiritual follow behind. The spiritual sort of looking up these holes in the sky and actually just giving a little wave and saying, "Hello, family." And the mental just seeming to look about and appraise. Morgani looks over to you, Carrick, and actually holds out the little radio. "If you please tell them to break the tablets, I am going to unweave some of these protections."
We'll do. I'm gonna call down. Attention, everybody! Please proceed to break the tablets.
Right. And Mental, if you would please deploy the apparatus and the
What apparatus?
bodies. Remember,
Yeah, we
some
don't
of us
have
are out without form.
Yeah, but I didn't recall there being an apparatus.
She's describing bodies like mine, only far smaller. Nothing to be
Okay.
alarmed about. And
Or smaller? Wait, how big is
the
he?
the Mental is like humanoid size, like she's about
She's
6
a
foot. So
skeleton thing.
no, that's a spiritual.
That's spiritual.
Okay.
The Mental,
So the-
remember, had a body created for her.
When
Yeah,
you
she's
s-
like
it
a
was like the
9-foot
robot.
dragon, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm now curious.
Like 6'2" or so.
I'm now curious about how small these are now.
Right, and she pulls out what looks like to be some form of bag of holding, and slowly sets down what look like to be folded masses of metal. You can like make out the forms of wings, metal, like tails, and so on. And as she sets them down, they unfurl into around dog-sized dragons.
Oh,
Are these like like ambush drake size?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Oh God, we're giving them ambush drake bodies.
hello, dragons!
And she actually pulls out 6 of them, despite there being little hope of nothing emerging, her having her own body. It seems they just made 6 to be sure.
Yep.
And she actually looks over at Spiritual and just goes, "You're going to be rejoining yourself, Len." And Spiritual sort of looks at everyone else and goes, "If you don't mind, it's going to be a little uncomfortable being separated, I think."
All right,
Makes sense.
goodbye.
We'll see you shortly.
See you soon, Speary.
Will you be yourself or
Pretty sure. Nothing's guaranteed though, right? But hey, I'm older and wiser, so hopefully we'll take heed of me.
Yeah, we'll pray for good results.
that has worked so well in our experience?
And
And the praying seems to.
yeah, the radio buzzes in your hand, Carrick, actually seemingly quite delayed on its response. And you hear a very, like, crackly, "Tablet broken." And already you can see some of those arcane runes starting to glow, almost like being overloaded. And then Morgani starts to wave her hands, and they start to unravel. And you hear her go, "My children, please take up the temporary vessels that have been granted to you." And after a few moments, you see energy surging from each of the, well, not each of them, from most of the holes. One sort of almost pearlescent misty form seems to surge into one of the dragons. Another almost divine light flows into another, and you see Spiri, the form they're in, kneels down, like almost as if like I'm setting this down so that it doesn't just fall.
Uh-huh.
And then you see a release of energy from the form Spiri was inhabiting, also joining that one. Another purplish pinkish flows into another form, and the others remain inert as one of the holes stretches, seems to unravel further, and you see claws coming through. Familiar ones.
Is cool.
Physical.
Here's physical.
The physical emerging. And as you see the little robotic dragons almost starting to rise up, heads lifting, the loud funk of the physical landing on this field and glaring at you with vicious hatred. That's where we're going to end this week's session.
Let's get physical.
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 So for some reason, I'm just getting the image of the Voltron lions in my head.
Right?
Not far from what I was picturing, strangely enough.
Warm feet. And
I was just really trying not to picture them like that, but it kept happening.
Now it's there.
Yeah.
Now
Out there.
But then little yapping dogs.
You. I got it.
I was gonna actually say if they're
Right, night,
reminiscent of the
Marcus.
little- Night, Marcus.
Remember to take 3,000 experience in one piety.
I'll get it when RG posts the
You
thing.
said 3,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
3001 piety.
Yeah.
3001 piety. You got it.
Yeah. No, not 3,001 piety.
No, you're like you said yes.
And one piety.
And we'll do this same time next week.
You're only allowed to put into gods that don't exist anymore.